Los niños accionan pistolas, las niñas se cuidan solas, no es nada raro, señora. Venimos del rancho del cerro y la loma, donde cosecha el maíz y amapola. Lárgate de aquí, no te metas con mi gente, no, te vas a topar de frente. Lárgate de aquí, no te metas con mi gente. Mira, mira, ahí va la María, más que linda lista. Se pone en la esquina a vender su mercancía. No quiere ser reina, ni tampoco rica, solo quiere feria pa' su ma y su tía. Aquí brindamos limón, tequila, ando con lo necesario bailando marimba. Si ya estoy muerta, pero de la risa como Speedy González. Jiba, 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 con la bendición yo ando. Low life por Sonora anda rifando. Tengo mi entorno conectado, todo controlado, como siempre ganando. ¿Quiénes son quien controlan la calle? Ja. Corre que no te atrapen, más bombas tal vez ilegales. Yeah, con la lata negro mate. Súbele, wey, ponte la cumbia chalino, cadete, saquea la que truene. Súbele, wey, que hoy me duele el corazón, me lo pasaré con pulque si se puede. Malos tiempos, dejaré que pasen, sí, solo miro pa' adelante. Estas perras conmigo quieren toparse y no creo que me aguanten. Biri 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 bam bam, tú no vas a acabar con mi power mexicano. Biri 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 bam bam, tú no, tú no, tú no, tú no. Biri 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 bam bam, tú no vas a acabar con mi power mexicano. Biri 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 bam bam, tú no, tú no, tú no. Hey hey, no me toques, ando chida y te veo igual de jodida. No soy suertuda, soy bendecida y estoy tirando pa' arriba, pa' arriba, pa' arriba. Quiero cantar desmadre mariachi, a ti te olvido con mezcales. Que suene fuerte los cadetes de Linares, yeah. Por acá puro González, ando tumbando la casa, yeah. Ando prendiendo contra pa' la raza, ando haciendo la finanza, pasándome de lanza, que esta vida no me alcanza. Yo me muevo como la marea, este estilo tu culo patea. Flores más finas crecen en mis tierras, yeah. Suculentas cosechas. Si te metes tú conmigo se te va a ir toda mi gente. Estamos fuertes, bien fuertes. Si te metes tú conmigo más vale que no lo intentes. Revolución de mentes. Si te metes tú conmigo se te va a ir toda mi gente. Estamos fuertes, bien fuertes. Si te metes tú conmigo más vale que no lo intentes. Revolución de mente. Biri 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 bam bam, tú no vas a acabar con mi power mexicano. Biri 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 bam bam, tú no, tú no, tú no, tú no. Biri 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 bam bam, tú no vas a acabar con mi power mexicano. Biri 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 bam bam, tú no, tú no, tú no. Hey hey. Rap mexicano. Lo mejor, este rollo no te tendrá. México infectando desde el sur al norte. Linda, muévelo con este ritmo. Rap 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 rap. Rap mexicano, crema cocinando.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. Content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material in use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Killing Chicanos is what they want. Blacks and Chicanos killing each other is what they want. That's how they run this place. Once we get together, they don't run shit. Got a lot to learn about being Chicano.
Yeah. Alcatraz, midget loco. Yeah, they never seen this coming, man. What up, Loom? What up, Oreo? 500 years of captivity. What else? Now they try to tell us how we supposed to be, how we supposed to act, how we supposed to rap. How I'm brown but my flow too black. Come on, y'all kidding me, right? Nike Air Flights fitted cock back fresh. Representando Mexicanos on the map. No estoy jugando, got bars like a battle on smack. But hold on, I'ma bring it right back. My people indigenous. I'm not sure if you getting this. By the time I'm done, you gon' be feeling this. I come from the people, they call me Chica. I've been to the motherland, Chichen Itza. Seen the Mayan ruins, intellectual architects. Been in the cenote, seen ancient artifacts. Really? Cali is Mexico, those are the facts. They raped women, gave elders heart attacks. It was a battle, our people were outgunned. Took life and cattle, we were outdone. However, 2 wars proudly we take to the grave. Those we call our Independence Day. It's time to stand up, educate our people. Stay on the ground, let them know that we equal. We see your plan, but your plan is see-through. You can't stop my people. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm holding it down.
Yeah. Story with Mexicans, Mexicano. Gave birth to the word that we know as Chicanos. Aztec warrior, man, it's all in my blood. From the Tenochtitlan, that's the heart of the love. Now I'm Mexico City, that's a modern day name. Don't let the books confuse you to be a modern day slave. Gotta get your facts right and study the culture. Don't be like Cortez, he came like a vulture. Came to just steal and take away the land. He seen what we got and he was like, damn, who would've guessed it had to be a white man. Damn it, man. Now we got stolen lands. They say go back to where the fuck you from. Man, this is my land, that's what you stole from us. I'm not Hispanic or Latino, I'm a Mexican. Man, fuck La Militia, you can have that bitch.
It's time to stand up, educate our people. Stay on the ground, let them know that we equal. We see your plan, but your plan is see-through. You can't stop my people. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm brown and proud. Mexicano, I'm holding it down, yeah.
All right, fam. I hope you guys can hear me. Apparently, we got an issue with video today. I'm not sure what's up, man. Hopefully, we don't got a problem. Intro was a little different this time. But it's all good, I think, man. I hope you guys like that. Hey, by the way, hold on, let me see who's here, man. Good evening, man. Sorry for being lagging, man, but I had a lot of stuff to get going. Buenas noches a todos. First, let me say what's up. Pedro, ¿qué hubo? ¿Qué te envías? Buenos días. All will be revealed. Al Martinez, VTC, Rick, Pedro, what's up? All right, so VTC, thank you, bro, for posting that video. That's why I use it. So if you know those brothers, man, tell them that I ain't trying to clout, man. I really like their song. So I hope they don't mind if I promote their song. They're called, well, they're in brothers channel. It's me and then Kano. All right, so anyhow, find them, subscribe if y'all don't know. Now you know. And then the other sister's called Hispana Mamba Negra. I speeded up the beat a little bit. You know, it's just my preference. Oh man. Okay, so today, let's get ready, man. Let's get ready. Let me see what you guys got. Boom. Let's go. So black supremacists and anti-Hispanic Tariq Nasheed has a live stream today called the toll of the immigrant resettlement on NYC families. This dude's really going in our people. It's okay, bro. Don't even trip. Listen, man, if you got to go for the weak, it just shows how weak you are. I ain't going for no weak mofos. I'm telling them in their face what they've done, who they are, and hey, they can come here and get some of it.
Gotcha, bitch.
But I know they won't, bro. They're gonna say, "Who is this little guy with 400 plus or 400 minus subscribers?" Yeah, I ain't nobody, man. So, anyways, but yet, white people won't flag that simpleton, but they're so quick to mess with this platform. I mean, it could be them, man. It could be them. Kibble, man. What's up, bro? Stop to probably miss out on this one. American Negro, a product of miscegenation. Stop denying the whitey blood in you and y'all. Take a DNA test and prove it's wrong. That's for sure. Oh yeah. All right. That's the white man science. It's only real when you are not the father. That's good, bro.
Gotcha, bitch.
Hold on a second.
¡Viva México, cabrones!
No, I'll give you another one.
你笑呀，笑呀沙滩，笑呀沙滩，你笑呀，笑呀沙滩，妈咪笑呀沙滩。
That's for your dance, bro. That's for your dance. All right, man. So shalom, bro. All right, cool. No sound, huh? Oh, that's crazy. Now, I think it is a sound. I mean, yeah, I thought sound was good, right? No, we're good. What's up, Rick? Okay, shalom, bro. Cool. All right. So anyhow, so that's enough of that. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. Yeah, that's what he is, bro. He can come get it here if he wants. Seriously, man, I don't mind, bro. I don't mind. I'll show them books too, and I'm sure he's gonna run. Oh, technically, people, listen, man, it's been long enough already. I mean, there's no point in yelling and screaming at these BHI's wobbles. They don't bother to step by. They'll send their women to come here and bug us, which is really sad in their case, to be honest with you. They send their women, Yehudi, whatever, all that. Oh, and man, wait till I do the class on Yahoo, bro. Y'all, you don't even know, bro. You guys don't even know. Now, listen, man, I don't point things unless I've done my homework on it, and I've meditated on this for several months, family, and I think I am ready to show you because I got the artillery to prove whoever thinks I'm incorrect, even the ones that trying to make it incorrect, even till this day, when they say, "Oh no, we don't know," but yet they carry the name. So, with all of that being considered, let me point this out real quick. I'm going to read this Zephaniah 3:13 in the way that because I downloaded the Septuagint app. I downloaded an app that has almost all the so-called secret books, and it also includes the Septuagint. Okay, so check this out. All right, I'm going to read it this way. Now, it has very different translations, but and it's written from right to left. So bear with me if I do pause or come back and forth, but I'll try to make sense out of it. Okay, you guys can read it on the screen if you like, but I'm gonna read it to y'all in the way that it's written or translated in the Septuagint. Okay, so again, this is Zephaniah chapter 3:13, and I'm gonna read it on the Septuagint. It says, "The remnant of Israel shall know or shall do no unrighteousness, and speak no lies, nor shall be found in their mouth a tongue deceitful, for they shall feed their flocks, their brothers and sisters, and lie down," meaning without worries, family. "And no one shall make them afraid." Why? Like I've said it before, somebody in this walk is lying, and I'm eating well. I'm lying down, and man, for the first time, I can tell you that I can actually see my family, like see into them. And again, let me read it again. Again, I'm reading it from Septuagint. I'm not looking at the screen. I'm just showing you the screen so you guys can follow. So forgive me if I pause. "The remnant of Israel no shall do no unrighteousness, and no speak lies, nor shall be found in their mouth a tongue deceitful, for they shall feed their flocks. Now, if you see the concordance is H7462, which means pasture, tend, graze, meaning like what you take care of. You tend to your flock, your family, your brothers, your sisters, right? You are not going to be deceitful. That's why when you share what you share, you're going to be able to lie down, and no one shall make them afraid. Because at least what I know, what I share is not to convince y'all. It's what I'm finding. I show you, I prove it. I'm not trying to be deceitful, but we have a lot of deceit. That's why the class is called what it is, white supremacy. It is what it is, because those are the facts. What you want me to do? Lie to you? I'm gonna show you guys how this democratic Republican, organism, that's what I'm gonna call it, gives space for you to be a very condescending individual, so-called, oh, I'm not a racist, but throw so many massive dog whistles, which means kind of like bywords and proverbs, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like one of like you could put lipstick on a pig, but he's still a pig. You know what I mean? Or like, for example, connotations, attachments. For example, if they say illegal alien, what picture it comes to mind? She ain't thinking of a black person or a white person. I'll tell you that right now. No, you're thinking of a so-called Latino, Hispano, Mexicano, Chicano, however you consider yourself, so-called, because that's all names, forcibly or by choice given, and technically forced too at the same time. Because if you think about it, we got tired of like, man, I'm tired of being a Mexican, bro. I'm gonna show them that we're not all the same. It's unfortunate, but it's due to oppression. Due to oppression. Now I'm gonna read to you Proverbs 29:13. All right, so I'm gonna go here. Excuse me. Follow me, but I'm gonna read it. I'm not Septuagint. Okay, so it says here, the poor, the deceitful man meet together. Watch this real quick. Look how it rates over here. Proverbs. And again, I'm using all kinds of translations, family. I prefer reading the King James. I don't say, oh, you better read it. No, I don't believe that. You have to understand what you're reading. You'd be a fool if you don't. How can you go by someone giving you the translation? You got to go find it. I'm not boasting, but recently I've been looking into learning a particular language that I believe pertains to my heritage. And, I thought, well, what better way for me to learn so then I don't have some so-called white man or so-called Arab man or so-called black man or African man trying to decipher the words that are written on the very same blocks that are down in my land where I actually was born, like Guadalajara or Mexico City. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. I can actually I can read now. So it says, Proverbs 29:13, the poor man and the oppressor have this in common. So check this out, family. The poor man and the oppressor have this in common. Gives light to the eye of the two of them. We're saying who gives light to the eye of the two of them, right? Or gives light to the eye of the two of them is, in this case, the Lord, the name Yahoo. Some people know him by Yahweh or Yahweh, which that's what I thought. But I'm going to prove to y'all in my class that the brother wasn't wrong. So now it says here, again, I'm going to read it in Proverbs. The poor and the deceitful man meet together. Now, this translation makes sense. The Lord or Yahweh or the Lord Yahoo lighteth both their eyes. So it's like, okay, well, what are you trying to say? If you read it in this sense, the poor man and the oppressor have this in common. Basically saying that the Most High gives them both the light of understanding, meaning you see yourself in this situation, you see them, they see themselves in the situation. So the poor man can be given light by the Most High, right? But at the same time, the rich man may not see his actual demise. So it's of the Most High. It's of the power. Because anyways, so let me give you another scripture here so you can see what I'm talking about. Proverbs 27:6, all right? And again, I'm trying to read this with you guys. I'm not saying I'm an expert at this Septuagint. I'm learning it as well, but I know how to read King James, but I'm trying to learn how to read this. So don't think that I'm that type of whatever. Hey, look at my new baggie. No, man, there's things that I want to grow with y'all if I can. Proverbs 29:13. Watch this. Proverbs 27:6. 27. Hold on. Give me a second. I got two screens here. 27:6. Watch this real quick, okay? Faithful are the wounds. Wait, is this what I'm looking for? Let me read it here. See what it says here. Follow me here. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. See, it's funny how some of these translations are done. Very interesting that it's written this way. Huh. Now when you start and then a side point here, family, when you start comparing translations, you start wondering. And that's why it's important to really, really learn like the definition of the word. It's extremely important. Me particularly, I suggested. This is why when I share something with y'all, confirm it, please. Confirm it. Okay. So now let me show you this real quick. I'll share this with y'all. The point that I'm trying to make here is the deceitfulness of people. And that's why when you are aware that you are, like, for example, I knew once with the scriptures, I understood that, wait a minute. So these rich people, it's not because they believe in God. It's something else. Because that's what I thought. You go to Christianity, prosperity, rich people do well. Oh my God. They must have the light. No, not at all. If you really think about the deception, as a poor man, you start learning that's how they deceive people. And unfortunately, as a rich man, you start learning that's how you can deceive people. It's both at the power of the Most High. Now, check this out. The brother sent this to me, and I'm going to show it to y'all because, again, if you leave it up to people to tell you who you are, you will always fail. You will always fail. You will always fail. Deceitful people know they're deceiving. See, for example, I'm not lying. That fam, be real with y'all, okay? Be real with yourselves. You know those people that you know, like, damn, ese way or esa morra, they're very like conniving. You know what I mean? Like I'm not deceitful, man. Like I don't have a deceitful mind. You know when you're a deceitful individual. You know, it's like that's why the Most High gives you that light and gives you that understanding. You know who you are. They know who you are. It's just, man, it's a trip, fam. But check this out. Analogías entre indios y judíos, meaning the similarity. So I'm going to read it real quick, and then I'm going to play it, all right? It says, oh, hold on. Let me magnify this, man. I'll give you guys a better picture. So it says here, and again, forgive me because, you know, this is not my video. I don't think I can magnify this, can I? Nah. I'll read it. It says, serios investigadores y destacados escritores han hecho interesantísimas observaciones sobre las costumbres de diferentes razas de indios americanos y trazaron un paralelo comparándolos con las costumbres judías. La circuncisión, práctica religiosa de los indios mexicanos, fue descrita por el padre de las casas. Las vestiduras, usaban por el gran sacerdote al oficiar, encontradas en un templo de Tamazulapa, México, con la J, ¿verdad? Son casi las mismas que las vestiduras del sumo sacerdote del templo de Jerusalén. Los indios de Yucatán, como Yactán, un ejemplo, rompían sus vestidos por algunas infaustas, nueva o muerte. kind of like like the movie where the Messiah. What's that movie called? Passion of Christ. And he tells them like, hey, they ripped their like them fake ass rabbis like that. All right. Yeah, the Khazars. Anyways, otra tribu de indios mexicanos hablaba de la existencia de una torre de Cholula, con la misma historia de la confusión de idiomas que la Biblia cuenta con respecto de la Torre de Babel. En la ciudad de Calangos se halló una losa o peña decorada cuyos signos fueron asimilados a letras hebreas. Un momentito, por favor.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Hebreos, güey. Anyways, unas letras hebreas por los sabios de Alcala. A ver.
A ver, que alguien me explique.
All right, let's go.
Avergoncemos de nuestras raíces, que no portemos nada más nuestra esencia, nuestra indumentaria en un evento como de esta magnitud, que mostremos siempre nuestra identidad en las diferentes oportunidades que nos presentan en la vida, que mostremos con orgullo esa piel de bronce que tenemos como oaxaqueños. Hoy también quiero decir gracias a la deidad del maíz y le pedimos
Thank you, bro, by the way, for sharing that, man. Thank you very much. Check this out, bro. Check this out. Hey, hold on a second.
等少爷，少爷参战，少爷参战，等少爷，少爷参战，妈咪少爷参战。
Dated 1913, the myth of Mexico and Peru. Okay, it's kind of like a little bit of my topic, but it is, and it is. Well, it is. Of course, it is, man. Because you want to know something? Again, it's regarding deception and white supremacy. Because we are surrounded by white supremacy. Why are we going to lie about it? I mean, those are facts. Those are obviously facts. Because anytime you go to a stage in front of a crowd and say, I'm going to apply the Anheuser or Eisenhower or Anheuser-Busch Eisenhower deportation, and you laugh about it, and you have people go, yeah, hold on.
¡Viva México, cabrones!
No, sorry. No, not Mexico. They go, USA, USA. You fail to really process what you are actually saying. What you're trying to manifest is you want people to go into people's homes and rip them from their families' homes. You want people to live in fear. You don't give a shit if a child, because you love to, they're selling children. They're trafficking children. Well, they're not trafficking white kids. The only reason you care of the trafficking is for political purposes, because you don't really care for a gente. If you did, you wouldn't do what you do. And I'm going to show you guys what they're actually trying to do. Yes, white supremacists are actually trying to implement a certain law. Donald Trump, Stephen Miller, once again in secrecy, passing these particular secretive laws because they make comments. And then if you listen and pay attention, again, it goes back to out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. So if you pay attention, their subconscious speaks for them all the time. So anyways, let's get to it, family. All right. So this is on page 8. Page 9. Page 8. Check this out. Prophecy of Chilan Balan. And probably some of you guys have heard of this, okay? Part of this strange prophecy runs as follows. At the end of the 13th age, when Itza is at the... Now, if you guys catch it now, that's why I put that song. The brother was like in Chichen Itza, right? Pay attention, man. There's a purpose why I do things. Hey, stop it. Stop. What the hell? Bro, for real? Sorry, family. It just went nuts on me. Anyways, there's a purpose of things I do. At the end of the 13th age, when Itza is at the height of its power, as also the city called Tanka, or Tanka, I guess. I can't pronounce it probably. If I did, disculpen, dispensa. The signal of God will appear on the heights. And the cross, okay, and the cross with which the world was enlightened. Now, remember, family, that there is such a thing as the tree of good and evil. And light always references wisdom, and wisdom isn't always of the Most High. So be mindful. All right? Remember that. The signal of God will appear on the heights, and the cross with which the world was enlightened will be manifested. So we know now. We knew Christianity was coming in some form, shape, or fashion, or smell. Hope y'all get it. There will be a variance of men. Variance of men's will in future times, meaning a variety of people, not just one nation. I told y'all. And it says here, when this signal shall be brought, receive your barbarous bearded guests from the east. So once again, we understood that you demons, you heathen, because if you look at the translation, right? If you look at the translation, for example, of the Septuagint for Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49, it says here, check this out. All right. It says, Yahoo will bring against you a nation from afar. Deuteronomy 20:49. I'm reading it in the Septuagint today. From the end of the earth, as swift as flies the eagle, a nation whose not you will understand language. Okay, so now again, I'm reading it from right to left. So now check this out. The concordance on this is H1471. And the nations here means apparently Goy. Goyim, meaning Gentiles, heathen, foreign nation. Heathens are going to come from afar. And we knew right here that these barbarous bearded guests from the east, stinking one too, straight hair and woolly too, who bring the signal of God. Remember that righteousness is a good thing, but it also is a belt, in case you guys forget. Don't forget. Righteousness is the laws, which means it's a damn good thing. But guess what? You're also going to get your ass whooped with it. Who comes to us in mercy and pity. Why? Because if it wasn't for the mercy that the Most High allowed us, we'd be all destroyed. Which is why it says these bearded men with a cross, they're going to bring the signal, and this is going to be our mercy and our pity. The time of our life is coming because we understood, our gente understood that when you die, you don't die forever. Now, let's continue. It would seem from the perusal of his prophecy that a genuine substratum of native tradition has been overlaid and colored by the influence of the early Spanish missionaries. Meaning, something's not really collecting here. How come, there's some history here, all right? The terms of the announcements are much too exact, and the language employed is obviously scriptural. But the native books of Chilan Belam, whence the prophecy is taken, are much less explicit, and the genuineness of their character is evidenced by the idiomatic use of the Maya tongue, which, in the form they present it in, could have been written by none save those who had habitually employed from infancy, meaning only those who were grown up in that particular language could have definitely understood and written these things and really been able to translate all of the stuff that he learned. So, for example, as regards to the prophetic nature of these deliverances, it is known that the Chilan or priest was wont to utter publicly at the end of certain prolonged periods a prophecy forecasting the character of the similar period to come. And there's a reason to believe that some distant rumor of the coming of the white man had reached the ears of several of the seers. Now, this vague this vague intimation that the seas separated them from a great continent where dwelt beings like themselves to seem to have been common to white and red men alike. And who shall say by what strange magic or telepathy they were inspired in the minds of daring explorers and the ascetic priests who gave expression to them in active utterance. To discover the America was much more than. Let me continue that. Okay, so check this out. This is one of the important things I want to show you. And for you brothers that are a little bit familiar with why I'm using this name Yahoo, okay, I just want to point out this point. 2 points here, real quick. Just them, and then tomorrow's class, Lord willing, I'll be able to get through it. The first civilized American people with whom the discoverers came in contact were those of the Nahua, right, or ancient Mexican race. Now, we pause for a second. Just for a second. That word right there. If you turn this N into a Y, it sounds like Yahuwah. Right? Now, if you turn this N into a Y and get rid of this A, and you put YAHU, now you have what's called Yahoo. Now, I'm just gonna leave you with that for now. For now, I'm kind of getting somewhere with this, but anyways, that's not the point today. Okay, so now remember the classes I've done before. Why did Sumarraga, the first bishop here in Mexico, do everything possible to destroy our codices, our historical books? Why? Makes you wonder why. Yeah. So watch. I'm gonna show you guys how that the name was once pronounced a certain way and used a certain way, and how and I'm gonna show you in current books today how it applies to the past. And it's like once you see it, you're like, oh damn. Yeah, I'm just saying. But anyway, that's not the point. That's not the point. I don't want to lose focus on this. That's not the point. Okay, so let's stick to this point right now. Let's just again, I'm presenting something. Okay, I'm not trying to convince y'all. Anyways, we use the term civilized. This is important. Advisedly. Now, here's why. And they said, in print, like quote unquote, because they believe it, but others didn't. Right? Watch this. For although several authorities of standing have refused to regard the Mexicans or Mexicans as a people who had achieved such a state of culture as would entitle them to be classed among civilized communities, there is no doubt that they had advanced nearly as far as was possible for them to proceed when their environment and the nature of their circumstances which handicap them are taken into consideration. In architecture, they had evolved into a type of building, solid yet wonderfully graceful, which, if not so massive as the Egyptians or Assyrians, was yet more highly decorative. Their artistic outlook was expressed in their paintings, and the pottery was versatile and less conventional than that of the ancient people of the Orient. Their social system was of a more advanced type, and a less rigorous attitude was evinced by the ruling caste towards the subject class. All right, so now check this out. Let me show you something real quick. I thought this was interesting. Hold on. Do I have it? Yeah, I do have it here. Hold on. Let me show you. Come here. Is it this one? Yeah, here it goes. So remember how it says regarding the architecture, right? To our gente, and they're like, you're saying they're not civilized, but man, in architecture, they developed, they evolved a type of building, solid yet wonderfully graceful, which, if not so massive as the Egyptians and Assyrians, was yet more highly decorative. So you guys have heard of these called ziggurats. That word right there, right? Ziggurat, like cigarettes. These are what they are. Look at that, family. Look at that. What does that look like, man? Come on, fam. That's a trip, isn't it? Come on, man. Look at that.
Que alguien me explique.
That's over there in the like Nebuchadnezzar, Babylonia type of period. Remember, keep in mind the Tower of Babel. Keep in mind that we just read something about that in Spanish, right? The video. It's just read it. Again, deception, family. Deception. Now, one more thing. Watch. And then we'll move on from this book. Check this out. Boom, boom. Page, is it 10, I think? Where are you? Oh, yeah, page 10. Look what this means, okay? Watch this. The Mexica race. It says, the race which was responsible for this varied and highly colored civilization was that known as the Nahua, for example, or like right now, as you know, again, I know that I'm just saying it, but tomorrow I'm going to prove it. Nahua, or the translation that I've been finding with the brother that showed me, and I have books also written that have used this name, Yahoo, exclude the A, but it means those who live by rule. What? Now, if you recall, McCall, okay? If you recall, no, I'm just kidding. Psalms 140. Oh man, I can't believe I'm forgetting, man. Somebody help me here. 147. Psalms 147, verse 19 and 20. It says, he showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel, which tomorrow I'm going to show you also what that means. He had not dealt so with any nation, no Gentile, nothing else, no one else, right? As far as his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. Now, I've showed you guys books on how our gente was very disciplined when it came to like the ordinances and the laws and how they raise their kids and all of that stuff, right? You wonder like, well, what if we fall off? Yeah, because collectively, family, collectively, and we were no longer a nation anymore. Check this out real quick. I'm going to read it in a Septuagint, see what it says here. Give me a second. The Septuagint says, he declared his word to Jacob, his statutes and his judgments to Israel. He had not thus with any nation, and as for his judgments, not they have known them. Praise in this part, praise Yah, H-Y-A-H. Now again, the concordance has it as H3050, the name of God of Israel. Yah, just Y-A-H. Or in other compare names as A-I-H. Funny that it's I write A-I-U-H. Well, the brother showed me, right? And here it has an A-I-H or J-A-H. Again, I'm just showing y'all. The point here is deception, family. So don't leave it up to you to let them tell you who you are. Because if you leave it up to them, they're going to keep feeding you and feeding you and feeding you nonsense. Because remember this. Remember what we know. Remember the scriptures talked about. The scriptures. Remember this right here. The Chilam, the prophecy that people from afar, right? The bearded people from the east. Okay. So now, check this out. I'm gonna show you something real quick just to give you a point. Wisdom of Solomon 14. Right now, you guys, I know I've showed this to y'all before, but I'm gonna read it in the Septuagint so you can see exactly how the translation here is placed. Hold on, let me see. Is it this one here? Hold on, where are you? Book. Hold on. Give me a second. Is it this one? Okay, no. Sorry. It is in. Why wouldn't it give me that one? I thought it was in there. Oh, I know what I did. Okay, cool. I'm gonna read it in a translation that I have over here. Okay, and I wish I would have taken a picture of it, fam. Did I take a picture? No, I didn't. Let me just read it real quick. All right, you guys follow me. Look how it says here in this book. Now the book is called the fifth edition, fully revised and explained. The New Oxford Annotated Apocrypha, New Revised Standard Version. Now it's like a newer translation. Okay, so obviously again I have the Apocrypha how it's translated, but I've read this several times, and I want to read it to you this way because I think it helps us see what I mean by how we knew that they were going to come. We understood that bearded men on ships were going to come. There was no other way for them to come. Okay, do you understand that? So let me just tell you that. Check this out. All right. Let's see. Where you at? Okay, here it goes right here. All right, here it goes. It says here, Wisdom of Solomon 14. Okay, you guys follow, and then I'm gonna read it in this. Again, one preparing to sail about to voyage over raging waves calls upon a piece of wood more fragile than the ship that carries him. Now we know that Christianity came from Europe. We understand that they came with the cross, and we know that this image was on particular little pieces of wood. Okay, for it was desire for gain that planned that vessel. Now we also understand that the Europeans were expelled from Europe. They wanted to renaissance their way back, restructure themselves again, right? So let me read it again. Again, one preparing to sail about to voyage over raging waves calls upon a piece of wood more fragile than the ship that carries him. For it was desire for gain that planned the vessel. Remember Psalms 83? Psalms 83 says, "Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel will be no more in remembrance." And we know from other scriptures that when they took us out, they took the treasures of the Most High. Let's continue. It says here, for it was desire for gain that planned that vessel, and wisdom was the artisan who built it. Now, but it is your providence, O Father, that steers its course. Now, we understand from historical facts that they really didn't know how to get back here, right? Okay. They were supposedly floating around for a few months. All right. It says here, but it is your providence, O Father, that steers its course, because you have given it a path in the sea and a safe way through the waves. Apparently, and I read some of these books, Christopher Columbus letters, he talks about that there was certain clouds that they couldn't get through. I don't remember, family, but again, I don't want to make it up. I don't have the book, so I apologize. Let me continue. Showing that you can save for every danger. I'm sorry, it says, but it is your providence, O Father, that steers its course, because you have given it a path in the sea and a safe way through the waves, showing that you can save from every danger, so that even a person who lacks skill may put to sea. We know who the true mariners of the sea were. These guys were not. It is your will that works your wisdom, should not be without effect. Okay? It says here, verse 6. I'm sorry, verse 5. It is your will that works of your wisdom should not be without effect. Therefore, people trust their lives even to the smallest piece of wood. Because God allows it, fam. See, they think that by believing in this Christ Jesus and a cross, that's how they came across. That's why the whole doctrine of discovery was so-called manifest destiny. They believe this, but it's of the Most High's work. For even, I'm sorry, and let me read it again. Therefore, people trust their lives, even so, to the smallest of wood, and passing through the billows on a raft, they could come safely to land. Okay? It says here, for even the beginning, when arrogant giants were perishing, the hope of the world took refuge on a raft, and guided by your hand, left to the world the seed of a new generation. For blessed is the wood by which righteousness cometh. So now we understand righteousness is the laws. Also, it's the belt. Your dad or your mom, but specifically your dad, when he tells you don't do something and you don't listen, he's going to whoop your ass. So blessed is the wood by which righteousness cometh, because remember, this is the rod of the Most High. You don't believe me? I'll show you. I'll show you. I'm going to read it to you this way. Well, actually, I'm going to show it here. And then I'll read it to you like this. Because again, the translation is far, like, sorry to use this word, far out, man. Check this out. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12. We'll start at verse 3. Now, remember, Revelation 2 and 9 and 3 and 9 are two different nations. Don't try to think it's the same one. And yet, we are going to hear about one here in particular. But yet, at the same time, it's the same one currently doing about these things. Watch this. Let's read it together. Let's start at verse 3. Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 3. Those who lived long ago in your holy land, you hated for their detestable practices, their works of sorcery and unholy riots, their merciless slaughter of children, and their sacrificial feasting on human flesh and blood. Now, who is he talking about here? Do you guys know who he's talking about? Anyone guess right now? Let me read it again. Those who lived long ago in your holy land, you hated for their detestable practices, their works of sorcery and unholy riots, their merciless slaughter of children, and their sacrificial feastings on human flesh and blood. It's talking about Canaan, family. It's talking about Canaan here, okay? But again, it's twofold, because who is there now? Who is there now acting as if? So let's continue. Those who lived long ago in your holy land, who you hated for their detestable practices and their works of sorcery and on unholy rites. And I'm going to prove that some of these guys are doing it today, but not Canaanites. The other guys. I'll show you. Sorceries and unholy rites. Their merciless slaughters of children. Don't tell me that I'm wrong. And they're sacrificing fishing of humans and flesh and blood. Why do you think these some conspiracy theories, man, they say stuff like that? You think they're off? They may be onto something. These initiates from the midst of the heathen cult. Damn. Do you guys remember the book, the Druidism? Druids? Remember the Druids? Phoenicians? Canaanites? That's where it comes from. These initiates from the midst of a heathen cult. Heathen cult. Now, Freemasonry, Eastern Star, the lily stars, white lilies, right? That whole thing, the whole masonry, all of it, man, it's talking about it right here. These initiates from the midst of a heathen cult. These parents who murder helpless lives. Check this out. You will to destroy by the hand of our ancestors, so that the land more precious of all to you, so that the land more precious of all to you might receive a worthy colony of the servants of God. But even these you spared, since they were but mortals, and sent wasps as front runners of your armies to destroy them little by little. Though you were not unable to give the ungodly into the hands of the righteous in battle, and you know who it's talking about, when Joshua's time, or to destroy them at one blow by the dread wild animals or your stern words, but judging them little by little, you gave them an opportunity to repent. Let me read it again. But judging them little by little, you gave them an opportunity to repent, though you were not aware that their origin was evil and their wickedness inborn, and that their way of thinking would never change. Damn. But they were an accursed race from the beginning. I told y'all. I haven't been lying. And it was not through fear of anyone that you left them unpunished for their sins. No, family. It wasn't for that reason. I'll show you why real quick, just to prove to you. Because what I'm showing y'all, it isn't to generate hatred or bitterness. Nah, hell no. It's bitter wisdom. That's different. Read it, understand it, filter it, let it strengthen you. Here's why. Verse 19, Wisdom of Solomon 12:19. Through such work you have taught your people that the righteous must be kind. Okay? And you have filled your children with the hope because you give repentance for sins. Now, that's how I'm raising my family. I'm showing my family hope that through repentance, he will forgive us for what we've done. And you'll see the changes. For if you punish with such great care and indulgence the enemies of your servants and those deserving of death, okay, granting them time and the opportunity to give up their wickedness, with what strictness you have judged your children, okay, to whose ancestors you gave oath and covenants full of good promises. So this is still expected of us. Regardless of what we go through, there is a demand of you to have a higher standard. Not submit yourself to this moronic mentality that, I'm going to put my foot in your face, sucker. Bro, that's dumb. True leadership does not require that. I already had that when in my young times. I put a lot of people under my foot, fam. Why would I need it now? And here's why, okay? Here's why I'm saying this. Read verse 21. With what strictness you have judged your children, to whose ancestors you gave oath and covenants full of good promises. So while chastising us, you scourge our enemies 10 times more, so that when we judge, we may meditate upon your goodness. And when we are judged, we may expect mercy. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A full understanding have all they that have a good understanding. If you believe that you're the light of the world, then you're supposed to be an example. First, you start with your family. Not in the street, being fake in a funk, trying to tell people how to keep the laws, but you're cheating on your wife. How to keep people tell people to keep the laws, but you don't know what your child is doing. But man, shut up, man. A lot of you guys, and women too, you guys go out there in the corner, teach, and you don't know your child. You don't know what he's doing. You don't know what she's doing. They don't believe. Then you say, oh, well, God said you gotta, help the godly, not the sinner. But a lot of you guys that have kids, you give them money, you give them cars, you still think of them. Man, shut up, man. Y'all are fake. You guys ain't really about this. No, you're not. Because at every second, you trim your way. And again, hey, the fruit don't fall far from the tree, man. So again, family, this is really important for you guys to understand that we had a vision at one point that these people were going to come. That's why when you read the book Sails of Hope, don't be far-fetched from it. So next time you have the idiots like this right here, watch. And this is why you have to empower yourself. This hermano right here, he's going to put a video. Watch what this. Check this out. Watch what he says. He's talking about this lady that's made a comment. All right, so check it out.
Hace días subí este video donde mostraba cómo hubiera sido México si no hubiera sido conquistado, y una chica española nos comentó que no sabíamos nada de nuestra historia, ¿no? Porque ahora sí que, en este que respondí, el segundo comentario, que gracias a ellos ahora sí que pudimos conocer lo que era la agricultura, porque no la conocíamos, tampoco sabíamos lo que era la rueda, la ganadería, no sabíamos arar la tierra. Y pues esto está totalmente erróneo. Y aclaro, no es nada contra la chica, pues al final de cuentas supongo que a ellos eso es lo que les enseñan, que nosotros ahora sí no sabíamos de nada, éramos una civilización abandonada, sin conocimiento de nada, viles salvajes. Pero pues quiero mostrarte que por ejemplo, era Tenochtitlán cuando llegó Hernán Cortés. Si te das cuenta, está edificada en un lago y había agricultura sobre el lago. Fíjate qué tan listos éramos que lo que hicimos sobre el lago fue hacer estas chinampas que eran como unas islas flotantes en las cuales sobre ellas era donde hacíamos la agricultura. Y de hecho las chinampas existen hasta la actualidad en lo que es en el área de Xochimilco. Entonces imagínate qué tan dominada teníamos la agricultura que a pesar de estos percances pudimos idearnos cómo poder hacer agricultura y tener nuestros cultivos. Y eso no es todo, si te vas más al sur del país, donde estaban los mayas, pues se edificó lo que era Chichén Itzá. Esta pirámide, tú dirías, bueno, pues es el centro de la ciudad, debe estar en el centro, pero no, está ubicada en ciertas latitudes, poquito más de un lado. ¿Por qué? Tiene que dar cierto ángulo, ¿para qué? Para que por un costado de la pirámide baje Kukulcán para fertilizar la tierra. Si esta pirámide estuviera unos milímetros a diferente ubicación, esto no podría pasar en el equinoccio, porque el sol va bajando y va iluminando los peldaños para que dé el efecto donde el dios Kukulcán va bajando para poder fertilizar la tierra. Entonces imagínate qué tan avanzados estábamos en astronomía, matemáticas y todo eso para que nuestras edificaciones pudieran hacer este tipo de cosas. Y repito, esto no es nada en contra de la chica, porque al final de cuentas eso es lo que a ellos les enseñan. Pero quería que supieran que nuestra cultura prehispánica era muy lista en todos estos temas. Entonces a mí me gusta mucho recorrer estos lugares.
It's a little bit of that, all right, little bit of that. So listen to this, family. Let me go here real quick. I'll read it in the translation. Let's go to 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 18. It says, let no man deceive you. No, I'm sorry. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seem to be wise in this world. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Oh my God. I'm tripping. Let me look for it. Hold on. What a nerd. My bad, family. My bad. My bad. Give me a second. Here, I'll read it here. 2 Corinthians 11 and 1, it says, or 11 and 3. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from simplicity that is in Christ or anointed. So that's why, again, I showed that video because, he doesn't understand what we're learning. I get it. But if you don't know even that, you'd believe that, yeah, you're right. If you didn't see or did your homework, you think, hey, he's probably right because these people civilized us. When you hear books like this, those who live by the rule, and then you see on page 11, I believe, in Nahua tradition, the name of the locality whence the race commenced, its wandering is called Aztlan, but it says the place of reeds. Place of reeds? Whoa, bro, for real. Now, if you guys look up the place of reeds, you'll find out that it comes around or originates from Middle Eastern lands. But again, if you wouldn't know, you wouldn't know. You just wouldn't know. Now, check this out. Remember, what was written aforetime was written for our learning, okay? That through patience and comfort of the scriptures, we might have hope. And also, that what has happened before is going to happen again. I'll give you an example. If you read 2 Kings 2:25, you find out that this is when Nebuchadnezzar, and there's an actual name, this is pronounced different, but I'm not going to worry about it today. That's when he technically sieged Jerusalem. Now, if you read this chapter, you'll see this right here. And I'm not going to read it all, but you'll see what happens, okay? 2 Kings 25:3. And on the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine prevailed in the city, and there was no bread for the people of the land. And the city was broken up, and all the men of war fled by night by the way of the gate between the two walls, which is by the kingdom's garden. Now the Chaldees were against the city round about, and the kings went towards the plain. And the army of the Chaldees pursued after the king and overtook him in the plains of Jericho. And all his army were scattered from him. So they took the king and brought him up to the king of Babylon, Riblah, and they gave judgment upon him. And they slew the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes, and put out the eyes of Zedekiah, and bound him with fetters of brass. They took his eyeballs out, all right, and carried him to Babylon. So now they took the king It sounds similar to our situation, right? So check this out. In the 5th month, on the 7th day of the month, which is in the 19th year of Nebuchadnezzar, the king Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon, came Nebuzaradan, captain of the guard, a servant of king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem. He burnt the house of the Lord, the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem, and every great man's house burnt he with fire. So they tore everything down, similar to what happened here in 1492. And verse 11, and now the rest of the people that were left in the city, and the fugitives that fell away to the king of Babylon, with all the remnant of the multitude, that Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carry away. So now, didn't that happen? They destroyed our men, our wives, and they took our women and our children, carried them away captive. Isn't that what happened? Global Indios, didn't I show you those things? Sounds familiar. A nation comes, takes them out of their land. Okay, check this out. But the captain of the guard left of the poor of the land to be vine dressers and husbandmen, weak ass men. That's why you had priests, black padres, bishops, obispos like Sumarraga, completely in control. Completely in control. So now check this out. In the pillars of brass that were in the house of the Lord, and the bases and the brazen seas that was in the house of the Lord, did the Chaldees break in pieces and carry the brass of them to Babylon. And the pots and the shovels and the snuffers and the spoons and all the vessels and brass wherewith they ministered took they away. They took everything. Pillars, everything, fam. Look, verse 18. And the captain of the guard took Sarah, yeah. You want to know how to actually pronounce? Sarayahu. Sarah Iyahu. I'm going to show y'all some stuff tomorrow. The chief priest and Zephaniah. It's interesting, but Zephaniah, that's how they saw it. That's how they understand it now. The second priest and the 3 keepers of the door. They started taking everybody. He was made a governor. When you read this actual Kings, you start finding out like the separation and the takeover. And, like, this is an interesting chapter here. Judah's decline, king of Babylon, Egypt, like all. I mean, not necessarily Babylon, but for example, 2 Chronicles 36:7. Nebuchadnezzar also carried the vessels of the house of the Lord to Babylon and put them in the temples of at Babylon. He had put him. Check this out. He was in power before this happened. Now the rest of the acts, verse 8. Now the rest of the acts of Joachim and his abomination which he did, and that which was found in him, behold, they are written in the books of the kings of Israel and of Judah. And Joachim, his son, reigned in his stead. So you see here how Jerusalem captured and burned. Now this is why the proclamation to Cyrus and Ezra, our people are freed. But now they're free to come back. Watch. Ezra 1:3. Who is there among you of all the people, of all his people? His God be with him, and let him go up to Jerusalem, which is in Judah, and build a house of the Lord, God of Israel, and he, the God, which is in Jerusalem. How is that? Because he had passed a law that freed everybody, basically, our gente. He put it in writing, a proclamation. He that made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom and put it also in writing. Thus said Cyrus, king of Persia, the Lord God of heaven had given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he had charged me to build him a house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah. So then he freed. So now people can come back, but they were taken out of the city, as you can understand. Now, don't you realize some of the migration that's going on? Some of our brothers and sisters were taken out of these lands, and now they want to come back. Not everybody, but I see a similarity. I see a similarity. Me, I see it. I don't know if you do. Check out Jeremiah 22 real quick. Watch, I'll show you. Jeremiah chapter 22, verse 18. Check this out. I'll go to it quick. Therefore, thus saith the Lord concerning Joachim, the son of Joshua, king of Judah, they shall not lament for him, saying, "Ah, my brother, sister." They shall not lament for him, saying, "Oh Lord, in all his glory. He shall be buried with the burials of an ass, drawn and cast forth beyond the gates of Jerusalem." See? Verse 21. Verse 21. I spake unto thee in thy prosperity, but thou sayest, I will not hear. This had been thy manner from thy youth, that thou obeyest not my voice. So this was just a wicked individual. And because of that, you see how. Check this out. Verse 23. I'll say 25. And I will give thee into the hand of them that seek thy life, and into the hand of them whose face thou fearest, even into the hand of Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, and into the hand of the Chaldeans. And I will cast thee out, and thy mother that bare thee, into another country, where ye were not born, and there ye shall die. But to the land where unto thou they desire to return, thither shall they not return. So obviously he was sent out of this land, and Nebuchadnezzar brought other people, which we see here. We see the same thing. Now check this out. This is the funny part. The very same people that, for example, these heathens, I'm gonna call you guys that, these foreigners, because that's what you guys are. You're saying I'm a foreigner. No, I'm not. I'm not a foreigner. My family, my bloodline's been here for a long time. Not about you. So these guys are complaining now about the very same thing that they brought. Watch. I'm not lying.
To eradicate humanity as we know it. Once you understand the final destination, it becomes much easier to look back and identify the psychological conditioning, the biological tampering, the cultural grooming, and the educational prepping that we have been subjected to for decades in preparation to making us accept a post-human future. It takes a lot of physical and psychological abuse to get an intelligent species like ours to agree to its own extinction. Most, if not all, that has transcended in the last 60 years was designed to get us closer to accepting such a dystopian reality. Whether you care to accept it or not, we live in a hyper-controlled matrix where our perception of reality is meticulously planned, managed, and executed in order to control and steer us in whichever direction they wish.
Isn't this funny, family? To me, this is funny to me. These conspiracy theorists. I mean, what rock are you guys under? Did you not know? 1492, 1776, 1865. I mean, 3 dates that are extremely important, and every single one, y'all benefited. In 1913, 1492, 1776, 1865, 1913. You guys do the numbers. How many numbers are in between those? 4 seasons. Now you complaining about what you brought. You brought this doctrine. You said the laws are done away with. You said Jesus fixed all that. You said church and state don't belong, but then yet church and state do belong? I mean, make up your minds, white people. Please, we want to know.
Wish. And the direction is a post-human world. For this, they first needed to destabilize, dehumanize, and demoralize humanity through every means possible. The destruction of the nuclear family, children being indoctrinated by the state, abortion, the eradication of God and spirituality from...
All right, so once again, this country is 60 to 70% high rate of divorces. You guys are Europeans. Homosexuality, sorry, I'm not dissing it, it's just facts, is a European thing. It is, because it's a Roman thing. Stop denying your own culture. You brought this culture. Then you complain about it. You become what you have always been. The fruit don't fall far from the tree. Again, family, don't be deceived. What has been here before will be here again. These people that are wicked on a so-called holy land, the Most High allowed them, like, listen, maybe you'll change. Maybe you'll get it right. Maybe you do love me. It's very clear, family, that it's not the case.
Education, life in
That's why he said he'll make you foolish of a nation, make you jealous of a foolish nation. Let's go.
mega cities and away from nature, toxic food, air and water, social media, replacing real human connection and interaction, engineered financial crisis and
This is so funny. Replacing real human connection and interaction. Shut your asses up. I'm gonna tell you this right now, family. Nobody, you can go to almost any country in America, any state in America, and most of these mofos don't even know their neighbors, fam. Unless it's a little small town. But see, where we're from, even if it's a big town, you know the people in the block. You know the people up the block, down the block. I'm going to tell you that right now. You have no idea that you're not even closely remote to that connection. You don't know what that connection means at all. You are criticizing yourselves. It's like you go to church on Sunday, tell God, I'm sorry, because I'm going to go on Monday and do it again.
taxation, endless wars and massive migration, stress, anxiety, depression, drugs and alcohol, endless wars and massive migration, endless wars and massive migration, endless wars and massive migration.
See what I mean, family? You see what I mean? Endless wars, which you started, and massive migration, which you guys started in 1492. And it didn't stop. And now you want it to stop, but you started it. Now, I kind of thought about this for a moment. Next time people try to tell you, well, you know, don't talk about the history. Okay, fine. So then you so-called Europeans with a American experience that claim themselves to be so-called Americans of this continent, right? Then you're just about 500 years young historically. Now, if you say to me, oh, well, no, you can't say that because I'm European. Oh, really? So then I can reflect back on 1492? No. Well, then that means you're only 500 years young. Culturally, statistically, if you compare us to you, then we've been here longer. That means we have a longer historical history here. But no, it's very convenient when, massive migration and wars, which you started. You Europeans have started all this. And now you're complaining about it. Deal with it.
Stress, anxiety, depression, drugs and alcohol, constant fear-mongering, moral relativism as the new religion, and I could go on and on about how humanity has been influenced and forced to move away from all the things that give us strength, security, purpose, and meaning. A weak, immoral, disconnected, ignorant, and unhealthy population.
You see, family, when you don't have the law, statutes, and commandments, you will go on a podium like this, play sad songs, put a so-called attractive woman because she has paint on her face, okay? And then empathy, sympathy. Oh, poor us Americans. God bless America.
Population is an easy target for the next stage, the creation of an entire generation of androgynous beings. Masculinity is under attack psychologically, culturally, and biologically. Women are being replaced in sports, entertainment, and politics by men pretending to be women, and children are being indoctrinated at school to think that gender is a choice. The transgender movement is not a grassroots movement. It comes from the top. It has nothing to do with people's freedom of expression, sexuality, or civil rights. It's an evil psyop with a clear agenda to get us closer to transhumanism by making us question the most fundamental notion of human.
Those are the Roman ways. Why are you complaining about yourselves? Family, I've told you guys about that movie a while ago. You know, the one that let it all behind or leave it all behind, whatever, right? You know what I mean? And I mean, you know, I put all my trust and faith in our power and the Most High. I mean, I try to prepare as best as I can, but you know, you don't have no control. But I just find this very interesting. Okay, just welcome me a little bit here. You know what I'm saying? Welcome me a little bit here. Yeah, it is their end goal, that's for sure. But and you know what I'm saying, VTC? It's not like news. It's not news. If you look back at history, that's who they are. Why are they lying? Historically, people know Romans did this. Romans, the men would have young boys. That's Roman history. They're Europeans. They're so proud of it. So why are you not stop arguing the facts that you bring those type of men and women into this? You bring them up again. You raise them up again and you have them again. It's in your nature, your DNA. So unless you maybe have babies with us, and maybe you won't have that problem. But you want to know something? Those are just facts. Nothing new under the sun. Stop lying, white folks. Just deal with it. You don't have the laws. We get it. We get it. The Most High is about the time to do his replacement. And your so-called replacement theory, you're not too far off. But not in the way that you believe it. Let's go.
Out the rule of law. Anarchy. The end of civilization. Coming soon to an America near you.
America can't collapse. We're as powerful as ancient Rome.
Homer, meet the Springfield Preppers. What would you do in the case of an EMP?
Electromagnetic pulse.
A burst of radiation that knocks out every electrical system in the country.
Impending doom.
What you reading, Dad?
Honey, everything's fine. There's nothing to worry about.
When things go south, the sheeple will clean out every supermarket in town.
Typical sheeple. So, what have you learned so far from our post-apocalyptic movie marathon?
Guys who call themselves preacher or deacon are very bad. Water is money, unless gasoline is money, and even though lots of things are razor sharp, no one ever shaves.
Hollywood has taught you well, my son.
Here it is, Homer. The Springfield Preppers' top-secret bug-out retreat.
Wow! Your end of the world is better than my during the world.
Homer, we all know America's collapse is about 3 months away.
6 weeks at most.
There's always one alarmist. Anyway, when the 4 horsemen ride, we want you and your collaterals right here with us.
And all our supplies behind a fake wall.
I thought the basement looked cleaner.
See? These are our bug-out bags. In here is everything we need to survive.
Survive what?
The looming kablooey.
It's reassuring to see you're aware of the future, but this is all a little creepy.
Creepy? Marge, the apocalypse is coming. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe never. But it's coming. And soon.
I'm going to bed.
An EMP?
You know what that means?
Hand scissors.
Online this morning and I rented us a beautiful house out by the beach. I figured if I made the reservation and packed our bags, it would eliminate most of the reasons to say no.
Oh, this is nice. Kids look so happy.
The Wi-Fi isn't working. Get a pad.
So sorry to bother you, that this is our house.
This is your house?
We were driving back to the city, then something happened.
You want to stay here, but we're staying here.
We need to get them out of here.
They need to think everything's gonna be okay.
Everything is gonna be okay, isn't it?
We are seeing ongoing cyber attacks across the country.
Something is happening, and I don't trust them.
Everything I know, I have told you.
I don't believe you.
I would do anything to protect my family. What you do is your business.
Get in the car right now!
Haven't you been picking up on what's going on out there?
Whatever it is, it's happening to all of us.
I just want to know, what is the truth?
19 states have seceded.
The United States Army ramps up activity.
The White House issued warnings to the Western forces as well as the Florida Alliance.
Our president assures the uprising will be dealt with swiftly.
Let me know if you want to try anything out.
Are you guys aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on all across America?
We just try to stay out with what we see on the news. Seems like it's for the best.
Citizens of America, the so-called Western forces of Texas and California have suffered a very great defeat at the hands of the United States military.
Mr. President, do you regret the use of airstrikes against American citizens? We're moving to D.C. today.
We need to go down there.
They shoot journalists on sight in the Capitol.
Every instinct in me says this is death.
Bloody.
Every time I survived a war zone, I thought I was sending a warning home. Don't do this. But here we are.
There's some kind of misunderstanding here. What? Well, you're American, okay? Okay. What kind of American are you? You don't know?
The Western forces will reach the White House on July 4th.
Oh my God.
Get in the car! Get in the car!
Move, move, move!
You're gonna hang back.
I'm not hanging back.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go, 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 go!
God bless America.
Again, what are they trying to say, huh? Anyhow, check this out. I want to give you guys a little history here. And I know some of you brothers, BTC, I think you know more about this than I do, but I think I have a little, I think I kind of know. This is from a long time ago. I got a year ago. And I'm not sure, man. You know what? I'm going to tell you this right now, man. There's perpetual hatred. And when you make yourself public, they're going to come after you. And I think this is what happened, fam. This is why some of these brothers here are getting in trouble with the law. And I don't mean in trouble like as in they're doing something bad. No, you know what I mean. It's not in their favor. Because obviously, they don't like that we're waking up. Listen to this. I find this interesting, okay? Let's go. Hopefully they don't block
We're
it.
seeing the chaos that is happening, and it is driven by criminals. It's driven by the cartels. When they're taking advantage to bring individuals with serious criminal records into the United States or those that have committed crimes in the past.
But you're painting refugees with a broad stroke, saying that they're all, the stats say that refugees actually commit 50% less crime than US-born citizens. And we have to understand this, that this land that we're on right now is indigenous land.
I'm not.
White people, nobody has ever. Why did white people stay in England? They came and committed 100 million.
He said, I like it. He said,
Gotcha, bitch.
Say, hold on. He said, why did white people stay in England? They committed 100 million. What's this here? So that's why this brother's getting targeted. Speak up, bro. How can let's just continue. I know what's going on.
We're on right now is indigenous land.
I'm not.
White people, why did white people stay in England? They came and committed 100 million genocide. 100 million natives died. This land was inhabited for thousands of years. Native Americans, Mayans, Mexicas for thousands of years. White people left England. Why didn't white people stay in England? And then on top of that, the U.S. war on drugs caused a huge black market with the cartel. Who's taking the drugs from white people?
That dumbass idiot said the land was sold and that's why we were here. No, it was not sold. It was taken. That's how stupid you are. But let's continue.
Hold on. Methamphetamine. So white people are taking those drugs. They're demanding those drugs. The war on drugs created.
So you're making nobody is hearing anybody if you're both.
This is my problem with you so-called white people, man. This is my problem with you, Mo. This is why I fucking get so much bothered. You're making this about a race. When you say illegal immigrant, what what comes to your mind, Mr. So-called honest white man? You ain't thinking of a Negro or a white man. You're not thinking of a Russian. you're not thinking of an Asian. Maybe you're not thinking of an Arab. Maybe you're thinking of a so-called beaner like him, like me. So don't you're making this about race. You have always made it about race. Everything that had to do with Operation Wetbag, the fumigation of 1917, the Bracero program. You were checking our people if they had lice, typhus, eugenics. It's always been about fucking race with you guys.
Methamphetamine. So
White supremacy to the fullest, and I'm going to continue to prove it.
Those drugs. They're demanding those drugs. The war on drugs created.
So you're making nobody is hearing anybody if you're both talking at once.
Yes.
Can I say something?
Yes. Then I'll let you say what.
You said they commit 50% less crime. Yeah. You know what I shoot for? 0%.
She shoots for 0% crime. So are you telling that to black folks, woman? Are you deporting black people? What are you going to tell them?
Crime. They shouldn't be here.
Who's
if
causing the
this
mass
guy,
shootings,
no, I don't want to go into anything else. I'm telling you right now. My son would still be alive.
I know. I'm sorry
if
about
this guy wasn't in the country.
So let's read this. Migrants from multiple South American countries travel north through Mexico trying to reach America's southern border. The president of Mexico recently praised President Biden. You are the first president of the United States in a very long time that has not built even 1 meter of the wall. So as you can see from the brother right here, he's saying, reporting he's still in jail with no bail. So speaking of which, I'm actually going to touch on that, bro. Watch, I'll show you. There's a law against that. I don't look, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, fam. If it wasn't because of my upbringing, I more likely would have been an attorney, because I really have always enjoyed the law. But I don't mean like as a cop.
Mendez.
Like I like crime and shit. I like to figure out crimes. You know what I mean? Anyhow. Oh wow. Damn. You see what I'm saying, fam? You see what I mean? And this has to be public, which what I'm gonna share. You guys need to know. Okay. So now they're saying it's not about race. It's never about race, supposedly. Okay, so let's find out about this case here. Okay, a dumb cop. Yes, a dumb cop. Okay, I have respect for cops, but because I have family, but a dumb cop jumps the gun. Yes, jumps the gun. Okay, and listen what happens. Let's listen in. All right.
This is Vigilio Aguilar Mendez, and have any of you heard of what's going on with him? I'm about to compare two scenarios, and I need you to stick around and tell me how any of them make any kind of sense. He's 18 years old, doesn't speak English. He was outside of the hotel that he was living at the time on the phone talking to his father, and here comes a police officer and said that he looks suspicious. So of course, invasion of privacy, if he looks suspicious, we have to ask all the questions, right? Vigilio tries in the best way that he can to let the officer know that he does not speak English. So instead of the officer, I don't know, maybe calling for a translator, instead of trying to do something like that, they just attack him. So after multiple police officers piled up on him, tased him a couple of times, one of the officers ends up passing away from a heart attack. And now they are trying to sentence him to life in prison for manslaughter. Even though the autopsy report shows that that police officer died of natural causes, he had pre-existing conditions, it was not his fault. Life is what they want to give him for manslaughter. Now I'm about to show you a comparison. Tell me how this makes sense. Here in my hometown, Sergeant Joshua Hardup was on the clock, speeding downtown, and when he went to turn, he hit a pedestrian who had the right of way and unalived that pedestrian. Now, if that was you or me, we would have been arrested immediately and charged with vehicular manslaughter. But not Sergeant Joshua. No, he just got to hop in his truck that he just hit somebody with, and he got to go home. Video gets released of the entire incident, and it is very clear to everyone that Sergeant Joshua was in the wrong. The court date comes up, and do you want to know what he was charged with? Nothing. He got a fine for $35. That's it. $35 fine for actually committing vehicular manslaughter. Will not face any criminal charges. You want to know who did the investigation on that whole case? That's right, his own police department. So a police officer ends up passing away because he had pre-existing conditions and he had a heart attack. And now an 18-year-old is being charged for manslaughter because of that, and they want to put him away for life. But a cop who has a bad driving record dated all the way back to 1998 actually hit somebody with his truck, unaliving the person, and he gets charged nothing. How does that make sense? Now I'm going to end this video with a question, and I really want you to think what I'm about to ask you. Is that what people mean by backing the blue? That's just an honest question because I want to let you know situations like that is why people say ACAB.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 10. But executing thy judgments upon them by little and little, thou givest them place of repentance, not being ignorant that they were a naughty generation, or though you were not aware that their origin was evil, and their malice or their wickedness was bred in them, meaning inborn, that their ways of thinking could never change, and that their cognition would never change, meaning it is their subconscious spirit that moves them. You think that's, no, check this out, okay? First is our brother right here from Project 8. Then our brother over here, Jaguar Ariola. Hey, I got a primo, last name Ariola. Or primos, actually. Like Aguilar, too. And then our brother Vigilio Aguilar. Oh, and then that's not even it. So check this out. Cat Williams better joke about this. And I'm like, what? Check this out.
They shot up.
Watch this. Thank you, bro. I'll call him a bro, man. Hey, man. If you're about your people, man, I'm gonna respect for you. I'm gonna respect you. If you ain't trying to steal other people's culture, I'm gonna respect you. But when you try to mess with one bean, you're gonna get the whole burrito, cabron. Let's go.
2 Hispanic women in a pickup truck delivering newspapers.
By the way, man, you guys need to start like really, really sharing this channel a little more, man, and hit those likes, Brad, because it's usually the same people over and over. If you guys are new, bro, hit the like, subscribe, and then make sure that when you actually hit the subscribe button and notification of all, hit that notification twice, because you have to make it like bold, or else you won't be notified. Just do yourselves a favor, family, because it's not about you. It's about the next brother or sister that will see this. Okay? All right? So let's continue.
Papers at 4:30 in the morning, look for a nigga.
Tonight, we are waiting to hear if there will be punishment for 8 Los Angeles police officers who opened fire on a pair of innocent women in the manhunt for cop killer Christopher Dorner.
But we knew he was in the cabin because they told us he was in the cabin.
Authorities say the ex-cop has barricaded himself in a cabin.
The police have him completely surrounded. There's nowhere for him to go.
Over the next 3 hours, authorities brought in reinforcements, armored vehicles, more SWAT teams.
We are going back up. Let the police go in and begin negotiations.
The gun battle was so intense, we were forced to take cover.
And all we saw was, get that motherfucker!
Burn that house. Get going right now. Burn this motherfucker.
They shot up 2 Hispanic women in a pickup truck delivering newspapers at 4:30 in the morning looking for a nigga.
Oh, yeah, they did, family. They did. Check this out. Okay. I mean, it's like, look. And you know what's funny? No charges against cops who wounded woman in Dorner manhunt. Look. Shot him up from the back, fam. Tu tía, güey. Tu hermana, cabrón. She's over there delivering newspaper, bro. Ay, mamá, ya vamos a llegar tarde, ya vámonos. Ay, mija, es que no he desayunado. Yo con mi cabecito. Espérame. Check this out. 8 Los Angeles police officers who collectively shot 107 shots at 2 women delivering newspapers in a truck that the police had mistaken for one belonging to renegade ex-cop Christopher Dorner, will not face criminal charges. The officers were conducting a security detail with limited planning and technical instructions. The truck that Margie Carranza and her 71-year-old mother, Emma Hernandez, were driving was similar to Dorner's, and the sound of the woman's newspaper slapping against driveways resembled gunshots. Really?
Who are you?
Are you serious, bro? You telling me that you throw a newspaper? Rap, 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 that sounds like a gunshot? Damn. Look at that. Women receive settlement. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. But they're like, yeah, we know administrative discipline imposed on the officers is extraneous to finding in this memo. It is about race. Yeah, they did get paid time off, bro. Okay, so I'm going to show you this right here. Let me show you this right here. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Let me see if I have it written down. If not, I will show you now. Yeah. Okay. You see, remember I talked to you guys about being in deception. Don't be fooled by deception. Excuse me. Remember that, right? Remember that. Don't be fooled by deception. Okay. What is it? This is this one. Colossians 2:8 says, "Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy, history, teachings. Winter, New Year's in January. It's only the first month of December. All the months are upside down. Like everybody's upside down, basically, right? Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit." Nah, bro, listen. It's like, for example, I was watching this cartoon in my mom's house today, right? Because I went to visit her. She's 85, and she has a cartoon in Spanish, and it's about these birds. And I'm like, oh, but they're playing like raza, like Mexican music, But I noticed in one scene that they're meeting this policeman bird, and I think they're crossing, like they're trying to cross the border. But see, these are birds, right? So then they're saying in Spanish or in English and Spanish, yeah, even though they can fly over, they still cross over to get checked because that's the right thing to do. So they're already programming our children. You see, you came legally to this country. They didn't. They're illegals. Again, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of white men or black men, after the rudiments of the world and not after the Mashiach, anointed. Oh, check this out. Because look, one thing I hate is deception, and I hate liars. And let me see. This is a lie to the
West, really?
Listen to this. Listen to this.
This is really beneath you, if you don't mind me being very blunt. For you to go to the race card and say that Dr. Gay was pushed out because of racism, that's not why she was.
To bring you on board, Dr. Gay was a president for Harvard. She had to resign because somebody asked her kind of like a gotcha question. Hey, if somebody said this, is that anti-Semite? And she's like, well, if they were using it to threaten somebody, yeah. But if you're just like, and then one thing is like, if somebody, like, who is that somebody? Anyways, they made a big deal about it, right? So they figured out a way to fire her. So now this guy here makes it into a race card. I know why, because guys, the boule, the whole thing. But I find Sean punk ass Hannity, okay? Man, any day, man, I'll call you ass out, like, any day, bro. We can do it in private. Well, we can do it on TV. Anyways, so this man here, then he says, "I can't believe you're saying that. We would never do that. We never talk about doing genocide or hurting a certain nationality or anybody. Of course not. Watch this. Listen to the hypocrisy, okay?"
Was pushed out. You know the code of conduct as well as anybody at Harvard. You almost got tenure at Harvard. You understand it well. And you know that if similar comments about the elimination or genocide of any, quote, identity group, of any, quote, elimination or comments about the elimination or genocide.
First of all, I'm going to show you something real quick. What is the definition of genocide? See, a lot of us need to look for these things. Definition of genocide. It means the deliberate killing or severe mistreatment. The deliberate killing or severe mistreatment of a large number of people from a particular national or ethnic group with the aim of destroying that nation or group. Exterminate them. Aren't you guys saying you want to go to Mexico and exterminate them? Eradicate? Didn't Vivek, the dude from India? Yeah, you're from there. I don't care what you say. You're illegal parent. The Vivek, right? Did he say, well, what I would tell Netanyahu is you do the annihilation, elimination over there, and I'll do the elimination over here. Isn't ethnic cleansing saying you are poisoning our blood? A deliberate killing and severe mistreatment, of a large number of people. Now, when you say illegal immigrant, I know you're not saying black people. Damn, well, you ain't saying white. So it seems to me that the word genocide is an international recognized crime where acts are committed with the intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group. You came to this continent. You stole this land. You used supposedly law and church to in your U.S. Constitution in the U.S. Supreme Court in 1823. You actually used the Discovery Doctrine, Manifest Destiny, a papal bull that the church had wrote. You used that to cleanse this nation. Now, how do I know that? Because I have documentation of you constantly saying that. Your leadership. We have documents that constantly say we need, what is it? Kill the Indian, save a man. Are you forgetting that? Kill the Indian, save a man. Aren't you saying that? And not let's cleanse. Let's deport all of these illegals. Aren't you saying that? Is that not like unheard of, or is it heard of? Because I hear it often. Here, in fact, I'll even show you this. I'll show you this real quick. I have this page, right? And I thought I had actually saved it. And it's statements of people that had said stuff about us. Okay? So these are documented, well reported. I have the book. Okay? And these are documents that you guys have said. These are statements, I'm sorry. Wait, let me download it real quick. Save it. Bam. 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 Bring it over here. Okay. This is just one page. Now remember the meaning of genocide. An intentional destruction of people in whole or part. In whole and part, right? So I'm going to show you this real quick. Because we're not done. I'm not done with the video just yet. Okay. I'm kind of going to get through it. So here we see Trump vows expanded travel ban if reelected. Okay. So check this out. If reelected, this is what he expects to do. All right. Now, it reads. And stop. Get out of the way. The former Trump on Wednesday vowed to reimpose and expand a travel ban that targeted several majority Muslim countries and said he would shift part of federal law enforcement to focus on immigration if he is elected to a second White House term. You see? On immigration. Now, you guys aren't unfair across the board. I know that for a fact. Because you're not going to pull over negros, you're not going to pull over güeros, you're not going to pull over Asians, you're not going to pull over Arabs when you're in Texas or Florida to supposedly check to see if they're illegals. You're going to pull people over like me. And we see it often now. Trump, the frontrunner of the Republican presidential nomination, which obviously Trump's parents were illegal at one point, appeared in Dubuque, Iowa, for a speech to supporters and focused at length on his plans for curbing immigration if he is elected in 2024. Trump, watch this, who in 2016 campaigned on a hardline immigration agenda. Who are they targeting? Our gente. They're not targeting negros. Come on, stop lying. And reshaped GOP orthodoxy on the issue pledged to go even further if he secures other terms. The former president vows to carry out the largest domestic deportation operation in American history. The deliberate killing or severe mistreatment of a large number of people from a particular national or ethnic group. The former president vows to carry out the largest deportation operation in American history. Separation of families, putting them in cages, not feeding them, not clothing them, throwing them some other country, who knows what. You're also going to deport U.S. citizens because you did it before. Check this out. And if you don't like it, so-called Mexican or so-called white person, if you supposedly agree with what I'm saying, or so-called black people, or if you like it, guess what? This is why when you ask a so-called white person that they want to vote for Trump, that they're saying, I don't care if he's a dictator. I'd rather have a dictator than let these immigrants. Here's what happens. Here's what he's going to do. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh, family. This is extremely important for you to understand what the next plan is. If this man gets voted, you better hold your horses. If you really are about this scripture, let's see how real you are about it. He said he would invoke the Alien Enemies Act, a 1798 law that was part of the Alien and Sedition Act that allowed the deportation of any immigrant who hailed from a country at war with the United States. Hold on a second. That's the alien part. Trump said he would use the law to remove all known or suspected gang members, drug dealers, cartel members from the United States. So he says that all so-called illegal immigrants, the ones that he wants to deport, they're all gang members, drug dealers, and cartel. Now check this out. Trump also said he would shift portions of federal law enforcement, including the drug enforcement, blah, 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 blah. Okay? He also says he also will deploy troops to the southern border if needed and deploy the Navy to impose a blockage in region to combat the spread of fentanyl. He also vowed to bring back one of the most controversial policies in his first term, a travel ban that limited visas from several predominantly Muslim countries: Iran, Syria, Yemen, Libya, and Somalia. Trump said he would bring back the travel ban and expand it even further to keep radical Islamist terrorists out of the country. According to prepared remarks, he also said he would use existing law to deny entry into the U.S. for communists and Marxists. Check this out. Instead, Trump and others running for GOP nomination have relentlessly attacked, not the flow, attacked the people because of what you look like. Because if you guys were white looking, they wouldn't be having a problem with you. At times referring to an invasion. Don't let it slip. Don't be fooled, fam. Check this out right here. This law right here is a very tricky law. Watch it. So he says that that with that law that he's going to deport everybody. He doesn't care how, right? Okay, watch this. But there's two sections to that law: alien and sedition. John Adams called the Alien and Seditions Act of 1798 war measures to opponents. They were unconstitutional and indefensible. Here's why. Well, hold on. To supporters, like, the white folks, the ones make America great again, right? The ones that make fun of Biden because he can't read well or he's old, but yet they don't care if Trump is shitting on himself all day, every day with his diapers. Okay? It says the opponents, to supporters, they protected the very foundation of the nation. Watch this. Unquestionably the biggest blunder in his presidency. This is what John Adams did. So here's what he did. This is what that law means, okay? And this is what Donald Trump says he's going to do again. And white people who support him know this law. And they're not saying shit to you guys. They're like, no digas nada, güey. Check this out. During a 2-week period, on June 18, 1798, the majority of Federalist Congress passed 4 acts collectively known as the Alien and Seditions Act. The Naturalization Act increased from 5 to 14 the number of years that immigrants must wait before obtaining U.S. citizenship and the rights to vote. Watch this. The Aliens Act comprised 2 separate acts. The Aliens Friendly Act. The Alien Friends Act, okay? The Alien Friends Act, which empowered the president to deport any alien whom he considered dangerous. And the Alien Enemies Act, which allowed the deportation of any alien who hailed from a country at war with the United States. So he could go to war and say, I'm at war with Mexico, and deport everybody they assume is legal. But not only that. So let's say, for example, if you don't agree with what he's doing, well, here's one for you. Hold on a second, okay? So, oh yeah, well, illegal alien. Okay, fine. But check this out. If you got a problem with that, it also says the Seditions Act authorizes the punishment of any person authoring or printing false, scandalous, and malicious writing against the Congress or the president, which was intended to defame or to bring them or either of them into contempt of or disrupt or to excite against them the hatred of the good people of the United States. So what he's saying is that if he's implementing this law and let's say we go and march against it, guess what's going to happen? You will go to jail. Yes, that's what it means. That's exactly what it means. It's literally saying, look, we're going to pass this anti-immigration law, and then we're going to make sure that nobody writes anything against them. That is called the Action Enemies Act. Watch. And you guys think that these people aren't thinking through these things? They're laughing at you, brothers and sisters, if you don't understand. Historically, you need to know who you are, because this is who they're attacking. They're not attacking these fake ass Jews. Hell no. These Khazars are not the people of the Bible. I'm gonna tell you that right now, and I'm very blunt about it, because you know what? We're watching them in action. Stephen Miller uses textbook definition of immigration to call for massive deportation, but he's a so-called Jew. I don't understand. I thought you guys were the light of the world. Stephen Miller claims Wednesday the United States is being overrun by immigrants and can only be saved by massive deportation. The white nationalist, a former Trump advisor, House advisor, was back in his chilling comments from his old boss, who over the weekend echoed Adolf Hitler by accusing immigrants of poisoning the blood of our country. We are being conquered. This is a so-called Jew, or Jewish, because that's really what you are. I mean, you say you're so-called Jewish, but you're not considered a Jew. My understanding is that you're practicing the Torah. You're not. Look at you. You look at you don't got your beard. Damn devil. We are being conquered, he says. This is a complete resettlement of America in real time. You see this? This is a complete resettlement of America in real time. It took hundreds of years, going back long, even before our founding, going back all the way to the earliest days of colonies in America, to slowly build everything we have. And now we have millions of people coming in from different cultures and different ways of living and different belief systems. They're going to take those belief systems with them to America. So a generation from now, I'm telling you, Jesse, people will not know the country that they are living in. These consequences are permanent. Unless there's a massive, large-scale deportation by the millions, it will be irrevocable. Again, what is the meaning of genocide? Mr. White guy on the left side, Mr. White, you fake-ass Jew on the right side. So, you know what's so funny, fam? Right? Want to know what's so funny? They have this thing called the Great Replacement Theory. Oh, wait, hold on. So now, hold on. Before I continue, so now let's gather this thought here. So now we're seeing that deportation, mass deportation, we're poisoning your blood. You Mexicans are beaners. I don't give a shit about you guys. You guys need to go back to your country. Okay, so now let's listen to Sean Hannity's hypocritical statement.
At Harvard, you almost got tenure at Harvard. You understand it well. And you know that if similar comments about the elimination or genocide of any, quote, identity group, African Americans, people in the LGBTQ plus community, if any of these comments that were made against the Jewish people were made against other groups, you would not be saying that's racism. And she had a moment where she could have stood out and strongly condemned it and not supported it, and not said, well, it depends on the context. She would still be president today. Why?
Now, isn't that what you white people always say all the time? Well, it depends on the context, because, you know, that was a long time ago. And no, you're just a racist fool. Let me see something, family. Is this the video I'm looking for?
Start clean with Clorox.
Okay, here it goes. Hold on. Give me a second.
Because
this is their so-called belief. Okay.
Diving deeper into the view.
Watch this real quick, all right? I'm not joking. This is what they believe.
They fit in with what's known as replacement theory, the fear by a few outspoken white people that they're being replaced by ethnic minorities. It is promoted by some cable news personalities and by others who claim they're good people on both sides of the white supremacist thinking. Here's Lauren Glassberg.
Charleston, and now Buffalo. Mass shootings likely provoked in part by extreme racism and a belief in the false Great Replacement theory.
It's pretty clear to me that the Great Replacement theory was at work here.
Scott Richmond heads up the New York and New Jersey section of the Anti-Defamation League. His organization is already looking into the 180-page ramblings left by the accused gunman in the Buffalo shooting. He says it is filled with the kind of hate rhetoric that is freely espoused on social media.
First of all, we need to reform social media, and we need to reform the laws surrounding social media.
But it's also repeated by politicians and amplified by talking heads.
I have less political power because they're importing a brand new electorate. I have less political power because they're importing a brand new electorate. Why should I sit back and take that?
That feeds.
This is exactly what you guys did by importing yourselves over here. You imported yourselves over here with this political ideology, this LGBTQ acceptance of life. You guys are Europeans. You guys are Romans. That is your way of life. I mean, I'm not judging you. If you like men, well, go ahead. But don't argue against what you are. I mean, it's just funny to me. You know what I'm saying? That's why the scriptures are very clear. Here, let me read it. I'll just read it real quick. Wisdom of Solomon 12:10. But judging them little by little, you gave them an opportunity to repent, though you were not aware that their origin was evil and their wickedness inborn, and that their way of thinking would never change. And it was not through fear of anyone that you left them unpunished for their sins. No, not at all. It's set for example, fam. Let's continue.
Into vulnerable minds, according to Jennifer Jones Austin, who heads up the New York City Racial Justice Commission.
Now you no longer have to go searching, fishing on the internet and other places to find this information. You just turn on the news or the alleged news.
She says it's time to better regulate media and also encourages more education and greater effort to discredit conspiracies before they lead to violence.
The more that this picks up, and takes hold, at some point it may come to your neighborhood.
It's funny. Bring it, I say. Try it. Just try it. Please try it. Once again, family. Once again. Trump plots mass detention and deportation of undocumented immigrants should he regain power. This is last year. He says here that including roundup of undocumented immigrants already in the U.S. and placing them in detention camps to await deportation. Detention camps, meaning internment camps. He says the news of proposal comes after Trump at a rally in Florida on Wednesday promised to conduct the largest domestic deportation operation in American history. argued criminals were coming through U.S.-Mexico border and warned of young, strong people that had bad intentions. So every single one of you so-called Hispanics, that's obviously considered genocide. The absolute abuse of a nation of people only to destroy them as a nation. You don't have to do it with arms. And on Saturday, Trump vowed to sign an executive order on day one of a potential second term to cease funding the provision of shelter and transportation for undocumented immigrants, saying at a rally in New Hampshire that he would redirect a portion to the saving towards shelter and treatment for our own homeless veterans. He also claimed, without evidence, that President Biden has spent more than $1 billion to put undocumented immigrants in some of the most luxurious hotels in the country. Let me read this. This extreme racist, cruel policies dreamed up by him and his benchman, Stephen Miller, henchman, are meant to stroke fear and divide us. So you see how they keep talking about camps? Camps, right? Camps. Well, check this out. Because this was also happening about 5-6 years ago when these two clowns were in office.
At the outset of the current war, Israel saw that it had unqualified, unconditional Western support from its U.S. and European sponsors and resurrected this long-standing ambition to cleanse the Gaza Strip of.
Cleanse. What did Stephen punk ass Miller say? What did the fake Jew say? What did he say? Massive invasion. We have to deport all this. We got to cleanse it, he said. Our blood is being poisoned. They said they're going to put them in camps, internment camps. Isn't this what they did to Palestinians? Even back then.
Palestinians. And the proposal that was put front and center, literally on October 7th and onwards, was to move the population of the Gaza Strip to the Sinai Desert, to Egypt. At the outset of the current war.
Is it school sports day? Summer camp? With freshly made beds, eat-all-you-can buffet, and the inevitable video games? Or how about some pool? And why can't we see their faces or hear their voices? Here's why. Because these children are in a detention camp, held against their will, first in giant cages in this warehouse on the Texas border with Mexico, tin foils for comfort blankets, eventually separated from their parents. Under President Trump's new zero-tolerance policy, their parents are now being prosecuted for crossing illegally into the U.S.
Under President Punk Georgian Man Trump, right? The same guy. With that dirty bastard Miller, the fake Jew, that guy, the bald dude, right? Him. They passed these laws, and they were passing the same laws, implementing the same attitude towards the Palestinians. Separating their children from their mothers, taking them out of their homes, putting them in internment camps, just like what we saw. You want these two clowns once again? You better repent.
This means the children and minors need to be detained separately, more than 2,000 in 6 weeks and counting. The point of this policy, deterrence. The response, outrage.
The Bush administration and the Obama administration faced issues like these, and in both those administrations, they decided that there was one place they would never go, and that was to separate families.
This is not the Texas I know. This is not the America that I grew up in, and I am so concerned for the future welfare of not only these little children, the teenagers, the parents, the trauma that they're experiencing, but also for the future of our mental state as a nation.
Agreeing with her former First Lady Laura Bush, who was uncharacteristically scathing today. It is immoral and it breaks my heart, she tweeted. And even Melania Trump, seen here in a rare appearance in May, championing the cause of children as First Lady, released a statement saying that she hated to see children separated from their parents. She wasn't blaming her husband by name, but even she clearly thought that a red line of compassion had been crossed.
Of a healthy and balanced life.
Undeterred, just a few hours later, her husband took to the microphone, blamed the Democrats, and channeled the campaign thunder that first got him America's attention 3 years ago.
The United States will not be a migrant camp, and it will not be a refugee holding facility. It won't be. You look at what's happening in Europe, you look at what's happening in other places, we can't allow that to happen to the United States, not on my watch. They could be murderers and thieves and so much else. So we want a safe country, and it starts with the borders, and that's the way it is.
All right, I'm going to show you this real quick, family. There is a law called, in case you're not aware, it's called the Eighth Amendment. Okay, it's under the understanding of the cruel and unusual punishment, excessive fines or bails, so to speak, punishments of that type of measure. So it says here, Amendment 8.3, excessive fines, so to speak, says that for years the Supreme Court had little to say about excessive fines in earlier cases. Okay. So what it says, and it's talking about that unusual and unprecedented punishment prescribed by the Eighth Amendment. So excessive fines, so to speak, for example. Now, in this particular, I should say, legal forum, maybe, we see several links on limitations on criminal punishment. So it says here, the Eighth Amendment deals only with, hold on, let me see if I can, the Eighth Amendment deals only with criminal punishment and has no application to civil processes, okay? So now, excessive bails shall not be required or excessive fines imposed, nor cruel or unusual punishments inflicted. Now, I find it ironic when you relate the word genocide to unusual and cruel punishment afflicted, but at the same time, you don't implement that with the understanding that you're doing that to our children, our gente, our brothers and sisters. You separate them from their mothers. You know damn well that affects them for a very long time mentally because you don't understand the spiritual part. You're demons. I get it. But you know damn well that that is not a cruel and unusual punishment. Watch this. It says here that deals only with criminal punishment, and this is not a civil matter, okay? So let's get that clear. You calling them criminals, so then this is not a civil matter. In holding the amendment inapplicable to the infliction of corporal punishment upon school children for disciplinary purposes, the court is in Ingram versus Wright explained that the cruel and unusual punishment clause circumscribes the criminal process in three ways. First, it limits the kind of punishment that government can impose on those convicted of crimes. Second, it prescribes punishment grossly disproportionate to the severity of the crime. And third, it imposes substantive limits on what can be made criminal and punished as such. And it also has a particular law that tells you how to deal with children, minors. The court, it says here, the court, this is Amendment 8.4.9.8, minors and death penalty. Okay, maybe these people don't read. I don't know. The court's conclusion that the execution of juveniles constitutes cruel and unusual punishment involves in much the same manner. Initially, a closely divided court invalidated one statutory scheme, meaning like a statute or sub-law that permitted capital punishment to be imposed on crimes committed before age of 16, but upheld other statutes authorizing capital punishment for crimes committed by 16 or 17 years old. But it's talking about this. Cruel and unusual punishment for children. This is a cruel and unusual punishment for children. You're saying they're not legal. Fine. So they broke the law. But yet you're not treating them under the law. Now, if you have other laws that you're using in secret, why don't you promote them and say, listen, if you get caught, these are the laws that you're going to be governed by, not the ones you see on TV. Sorry to tell you, but you are officially breaking the law. Your own. Now you say you're people of God. Nah. I'm going to tell you who you are. This is who you are. This is why all of this is happening. Remember, these are puppets, family. Let's listen to this, okay? Let's listen to this real quick.
Monster Energy. When did you sell your soul? Tell me.
Hey,
you signed your soul recently, right? You did.
I ride motorcycles.
Isn't it funny that anytime I have to fight someone, Monster signs them immediately and becomes a fan of them? You know why? Because I didn't sell out and I didn't sell my soul. What'd you have to do to that pig-headed fuck? Huh? What'd you have to do to sell your soul to get that deal?
Kazar. Kazar is the pig-headed fuck. You know, you can put lipstick on a Kazar, but he's still a Kazar.
There's a reason he doesn't want this symbol anywhere near him. He understands what it represents. And take the monster sign, the M, right? This represents the 3 spikes that crucified Yeshua to the cross. That is also the Hebrew letter Vav, the 6th letter in the alphabet. So Vav, 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 which is 666. Look in the word monster, the O. Well, there's a hidden cross right there. And what did they nail him to? The cross. And what is their slogan that they say? Unleash the beast. Unleash the beast. Now, they've incorporated this 666 in many logos. And a logo is a symbol which comes from sigil magic. They're binding certain energies and frequencies using this sigil magic, like what they did with Monster. And the Antichrist, he's going to sit on his throne in Jerusalem. Take the longitude and latitude of Jerusalem. What's it add up to? 666.
You're being exposed for what you truly are. You're being exposed to what you truly are. This is Revelation 2:9, family. I'm going to leave Canaan alone today a little bit. I'll come after you guys on a couple days later. I'll give you guys a break and a breather. Maybe Yehudi will show up again. Let's go.
The discovery of a secret tunnel eventually led to a massive brawl inside a 100-year-old synagogue in Brooklyn, New York. Known as 770, the synagogue serves one of the largest groups of Hasidic Jews in the world. Now, luckily, no injuries were reported from this brawl, believe it or not. But what the hell sparked it? What is behind the brawl in the first place? What got people so fired up? Well, it was all over the discovery of a tunnel and an attempt by authorities to fill it with cement. So you see a gentleman coming out of that tunnel. This isn't in the Middle East, guys. This is in Brooklyn, okay? This is in Brooklyn. So the tunnel was discovered just last month when neighbors to the synagogue reported suspicious sounds coming underneath their homes. They're like, there's some stuff happening under our homes. We don't know what this is. So they reported to the authorities. At that point, the tunnel is discovered. They discovered it in late 2023 when a project to upgrade the building or the building's plumbing was underway. And so neighbors of the building reported suspicious noises under their homes. With the discovery of the tunnel, many began to fear that it was actually leading to, an unsafe structure, that there was going to be damage to their homes if they didn't do something about these underground tunnels under their homes. And by the way, the tunnel stretched under at least one other building. Now, following the discovery of the tunnel, authorities were called, and the authorities were there to basically fill the tunnel with concrete. And apparently that is what led to the brawl.
Yeah, but check this out, Pedro. I'm going to show you something real quick. It's in Spanish. It's in Spanish, man. I'm going to speed it up. And
Hola.
Let's see if I can get to it real quick, okay? Let me see if I can speed it up.
La noticia.
Yeah, here we go, right here. All right, so check this out. Check this out. So there's an underground tunnel, and we heard things about these people. Well, let's hear some more. Really weird.
Que te traigo el día de hoy es tan horrible, tan espeluznante, que no tengo palabras para describir lo horrible que es esa noticia. ¿Ok? Pero lo que te voy a decir hoy está completamente dedicado a los miembros de las iglesias, a los que tienen a los judíos allá en un pedestal altísimo. ¿Okay?
There you go. I like that. He goes, a los que tienen los judíos en un pedestal muy altísimo. Yes, all you guys that don't understand, these Ashkenazis are fake as hell. Oh, yeah, bro, check this out. No, listen, bro, listen to this, all right, let's go.
Que dicen que qué buena es Israel, qué buena, y que son lindos y quieren ser como ellos. Muchos de ellos hasta hacen recortes de la bandera de Israel y se la pegan al carro. Mira, Dios, el Dios de los cristianos, está contra Israel. Los está liquidando en este momento, les está dando pasaporte de salida. Las maldades de ellos llegaron acá a los Estados Unidos. Mira lo que sucedió, aquí te va la noticia. 2 legisladores y 3 alcaldes de Nueva Jersey, acá en los Estados Unidos, han sido acusados de consentir crímenes por parte de rabinos judíos de la sinagoga. Estos señores no solamente que estaban vendiendo mercancía, imitaciones de mercancía fina. Eso no es un gran crimen, ¿verdad? Es penado por la ley, pero no es tan grave como lo otro que te voy a contar ahora. Entre lo que estaban haciendo estos señores, están siendo acusados de tráfico de órganos humanos. ¿Estás oyendo? En caso de que no estés oyendo bien, para la oreja, te lo repito. Están siendo acusados de tráfico de órganos humanos provenientes de Israel. Antes de terminar el video, te voy a dejar con una pregunta, con una incógnita, para que la resuelvas tú en tu cabeza. Acusados de lavado de dinero, los políticos estos, los señores estos también judíos de las sinagogas allá en Nueva Jersey. El riñón, cada riñón humano lo estaban vendiendo en $160,000. ¿Qué te parece lo que esos muñecos estaban haciendo? ¿Qué te parece? Una red internacional de
$160,000 for that organ.
lavado de dinero, 130 funcionarios públicos implicados en el problema, en el escándalo. Según el FBI, les tardó 10 años, oigan esto, 10 años le tardó al FBI pescar a estos señores. La pregunta que te tengo, te voy a hacer esa pregunta en este momento, pero no es la pregunta final que te tengo para el video. La pregunta intermedia es esta. Al FBI le tomó 10 años conducir esa investigación. Están todos presos, o se los llevaron, y no se los llevaron en una patrulla policial. No se los llevaron en una patrulla policial. ¿Y sabes por qué no se los llevaron en una patrulla policial? Porque no cabían la cantidad de judíos que tú, Iglesia Muerta, tienes en el pedestal. No cabían en una patrulla, tuvieron que venir buses a llevarse a la cantidad de judíos acusados de todos esos horribles crímenes. ¿Ok? 10 años tardó la investigación. Dime que no estaban engrudados también los policías ahí, del FBI. ¿Cómo es que va a durar una investigación 10 años? Entre tanto, permitían que eso siguiera sucediendo. Entiende eso, Iglesia Muerta, entiende eso, ciudadano del mundo. ¿Ok? 10 años en una investigación que duró 10 años. ¿Qué tan anormal te suena eso en los oídos? 10 años. 10 años. Ahora, la pregunta que te tengo aquí es, esos órganos eran riñones y corazones y etcétera. Esos órganos venían de Israel. Ahora, la pregunta con la que te quiero dejar para que medites, aquí te va comida para el pensamiento. La pregunta es, ¿esos órganos venían de donantes o venían de los prisioneros de la Franja de Gaza? Esa es una pregunta, eso no es una acusación lo que te estoy haciendo, es una pregunta. Porque allá desaparecen personas en la Franja de Gaza. ¿Ok?
Just like here, family. Just like here. Where are those kids? Trump, Miller, where are those kids? Where are those kids? We hear about Pizzagate and all that stupid stuff, right? But where are the kids? Why is this happening here and happening over there to them?
Palestinos. Y no los encuentran más nunca. ¿Ok? La pregunta es, ¿de dónde venían esos órganos? ¿Ok? 10 años le tomó al FBI conducir esa investigación. 10 años. Ay, papá. Pero el asunto es que Jesucristo, el Dios de los cristianos, está desenmascarando a esos señores, no les está teniendo compasión de ninguna clase. Y ya les está dando pasaporte de salida de allá de Israel y de Jerusalén. Eso es lo que te he estado diciendo en mis videos. ¿Okay? Te leo la Biblia cada vez que hago un video de estos, pero hoy no te voy a leer la Biblia. Hoy lo que voy a hacer es decirte lo que está sucediendo. Estos señores están acusados de tráfico de mercancía fina, imitaciones de mercancía fina, que no es gran crimen, sino de órganos de seres humanos, de Israel. ¿De dónde en Israel pueden sacar órganos de seres humanos que no sean de los palestinos civiles inocentes? Piénsalo, puede ser, es una posibilidad. Suscríbete apretando la foto que está allí, encima del corazoncito. Y que la misericordia de Jesucristo, varón de guerra, Dios celoso, fuerte e implacable, te alcance y te salve y te haga pensar.
Telling you, fam, watch this. Now it makes sense why this guy said what he said. Now I understand why this guy said what he said. Because it's true. Like, wait a minute. They did have the most intelligent, so-called at that time, or whatever they consider IQ. Why are they against him? Watch this.
Nobody has ever analyzed why the German nation that had more Nobel Prize winners and more famous researchers and scientists and was one of the best educated countries in Europe turned on the Jews. Why did these good Germans turn on the Jews, who had more Jews living amongst them than even percentage-wise living in the United States today? Why was that? Because they displayed the same voracious ethnocentrism, power grabbing, influence peddling, buying of politicians, dominating of the public airwaves and the public media in Germany and so on, that they display in the United States. And I'm not much of a prophet, but that much I can say based on history. In the United States, mark my word, you will have Weimar conditions and you'll have solutions to the Weimar conditions. If you look at East Germany, how quickly it collapsed, or the former Soviet Union, how quickly it collapsed with all its secret services, spy agencies, NKVD and Stasis, it imploded so quickly, I have no idea. But there is no doubt in my mind, the United States is heading in the same direction. And there's only one difference. In the United States, there are enough guns out on the street and enough lawlessness in the public and a revolutionary spirit that founded that republic. The United States is armed to the teeth. They have a spirit of revolution in their blood.
They want to add that at the end. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. Check this out. Hopefully he's still. Where is it at? Check this out. Look at this family. This is sad right here.
You're gonna be pretty mad. Did you know that one of the biggest sponsors for all these illegal children that are entering the country without their parents is the Catholic Church? They called Biden's administration trafficking centers and they tell them, hey, we can take care of 3,000 children or 4,000 children. And then they send them over. There's a woman that works right here in one of these trafficking centers and CPS centers here in Houston, Texas. And she literally told me this, guys. These children by the buses are leaving to the Catholic churches. And then they disappear off the grid. No longer in the computer. Somebody else takes care of that file. And that's how they do it. These children just disappear. And did you know they received more than $3 billion to take care of these kids? $3 billion, guys. But we don't have enough money for something else to keep our borders safe or nothing. No. Oh, gosh. And did you know that the Catholic Church paid more than $3-point-something billion in this past 2 years for nothing but child sex abuse? Beyond ridiculous. Take a look at it.
Mm-hmm. So if let's see if they really do say it's all about so-called illegal immigrants, right? Okay, let's see if you say this, because I know when it comes to so-called black folks, you white people don't say shit. But let's listen in. Hold on.
So what you rape?
End up having rape cases, some of us end up
So what you rape girls?
Some of us, yeah, some of us.
Do you know how many times you've done that? How many times have you raped girls?
I did it maybe 2 or 3 times.
I did it once. I did it 4 times.
I did it once.
Yeah, because a lot of times I was with him. Yeah, he's a friend, I'm with him all the time,
How do you go about doing it? A bunch of you push her into a corner, or?
No, we do it much simpler, One of us pretends as if he's a nice guy, he wants to get her number or something, and you would grab her and say, hey, shut up.
Surely she shouts, no?
No, we tell him that.
We make sure that she doesn't.
When you scream, we tell him that when you scream, we're gonna kill you.
Yeah, and she sees you with a knife or something, anything that is a weapon. She will stay still, she will never scream. He grabs the legs, both of the legs. I grab the hands, and then he deals with the clothes, Yeah, and then we go one by one. We call it jack rolling, Yeah, exactly, because you kind of jack her, and then you roll her, Yeah, it's jack rolling, you jack her and then you put her on the floor. Yeah. We would say, guys, come on, let's do this fast, guys. Yeah, you enjoying it, huh? And we would beat our hands, high five. What's it?
Told you. I told you. This is what Theodore Roosevelt says. Mientras estos países, los de América Latina, sigan siendo católicos, no podremos dominarlos. Supposedly. Says here. Si los Estados Unidos no controlamos a México y protegemos a las empresas norteamericanas, nuestra nación perderá el control del país pobre más rico, no solo de este continente, sino del mundo. Escuchen esto, güeyes. Nuestra nación perderá el control del país pobre más rico.
¡Que alguien me explique!
Man, y'all need to start waking the hell up, bro. You guys are very special people. Very, very, very special people. Anyhow, that's it. Lord willing, y'all were edified, man. I appreciate you guys very much. You know how I roll. I'm always gonna play something for you guys at the end. There's always a message, at least I try. So hopefully you guys get this message. I always try I like this song a lot, man, because it's kind of true though, you know what I mean? Anyways, so y'all stay up. Stay strong, fam. Tomorrow's class, by the way, I want to show you this. Let me see. Hold on. This is called this one here. This one, Yahoo. Okay. Actually, no, that's 2 days from now. Please attend to that class, man. I think y'all are gonna really like it. I'm gonna prove how that is the name based on what I found of our creator. It was a name that had disappeared for a long time. Other than that, hey man, I love y'all family, man, and I mean that. And that's why I do what I do. Other than that, I hope y'all doing. Yeah, that's crazy, huh? Wow, fucking Hamites, bro. Pinches seditious and ass mofos. That's a dirty dude. You know what? That's none of my business now. You are who you are. You're gonna be who you're gonna be, and it is what it is. So deal with it. I guess somebody had to tell you the truth. Sorry, Yak. You ain't the people of the book. Anyways, enjoy. Y'all here. Y'all take care. Oh, what's going on? I can't play that video, man. What's going on? Hold on a second. Let me see. Hold on. Here. Enjoy my face. No, just kidding. Hold on. Here goes, fam. All right. A rato.
Quiero pensar, pero no puedo, no. El ruido en la ciudad está consumiendo, wow. Quieren pensar, sin ni siquiera estar al mando. Tanta publicidad subliminal te está matando. Les cuesta decidir por sí mismos cuál es su mando. Publican sonrisas con el corazón llorando. Quieren brillar, pero sin tener que valerse de tener sus ideas propias. Los veo a todos igual, solo son la réplica de la imitación de una triste copia. Obedece, la vida es un suspiro y envejeces. Te dejas distraer por estupideces y pierdes el eje. Te duele por dentro, entonces te creces, pero aceptas mucho menos de lo que mereces. ¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que decís, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar y solo así podrás brillar. ¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que decís, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar y solo así podrás brillar. Conserva tu juicio y tu intuición, más activos que el que lucha por lo suyo y no se rinde. Yo ya sé bien cuál es mi misión, y es contarte que el mal por su propio pie pronto se extingue. No caigas bajo su control, pues por la televisión es normal que mal lo pinten. Tú mantente firme en conexión con la fuente de creación, vivirás siempre de fin de. Dios abre los ojos, dime lo que ves. A tus propios hijos matándose por billetes. Niños mueren cada 2 por 3. Pa' unos es bendición, con otros por su causa pequen. Y yo que intento ser un ser crístico, voy bendiciendo hasta los diablos. Piensan que si
cierto el mensaje típico. Dicen que invento lo del engaño y mientras lucho contra mis errores, demonios escucho, me ofrecen soluciones, pero sé que hay un ángel que quiere que mejore. Me dice haz un trabajo interno antes de que lo ignores, antes que otra vez llores y se llenen los mares de pena y de dolores, ya que en mi mente no caben. La paz no va en un sobre, somos algo importante. Nunca te revelaste y por eso no lo sabes. ¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que decís, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar y solo así podrás brillar. ¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que decís, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar y solo así podrás brillar.
Me desperté tan cansado, me sentía mal herido de todo lo que he pasado. No me quita lo aprendido, por dentro me he perdonado, pero casi no me olvido. Me desperté tan cansado, me sentía mal herido de todo lo que he pasado. No me quita lo aprendido, por dentro me he perdonado, pero casi no me olvido, no. Todos repiten lo que dice el referente. Discursos vacíos lejos de ser coherentes. De lo que no sabes será mejor que no inventes. Investigues y no te dejes lavar la mente.
¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que decís, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar y solo así podrás brillar. ¿Y quién te ha dicho a ti que no puedes pensar sobre lo que decís, sobre cómo actuar? Lucha por ser feliz sin a nadie dañar y solo así podrás brillar.
Quiero pensar, pero no puedo, no. El ruido en la ciudad está consumiendo, Se ve tan mal cuando miras a otro lado, los fantasmas del pasado no se detendrán hasta verte derrumbado. Peores lo hemos pasado. Andaba a golpes con la tristeza, me aportó riqueza, me otorgó sabiduría, pues se dibujaba en todas mis piezas. Yo con alegría le daba color después. La aguja sigue girando, tiempo parece se burlar de mí. Dijo que sanaría esperando, pero creo que la espina aún sigue ahí. Con los dedos lo voy palpando. Cierro los puños, escapa de aquí. Agonizando, no me espera el tiempo, no voy a esperar por ti.
Nuestras huellas en la orilla se han borrado por la marea. Si esas estrellas ya no brillan, las entiendo pa' que veas. Sea donde sea, bajo la tormenta o dentro de la odisea, donde arañas cubren el cielo de tela, los aviones nadan y los barcos vuelan. Aunque parezca que va bien, no sabes bien si va mal. Besos que pueden doler, ojos que pueden matar. Tengo mi alma en el almacén encerrada, mi corazón está en huelga, mis sentimientos en ámbar. Gente, Calamala dijo que estaría presente. Fallaron como nunca, se fueron para siempre. Millones razones para vengarme, pero a veces duele más actuar indiferente.
Como no quieren ver ahogados, tenemos branquias y cerrados los bronquios como la mente de un guardia. Yo soy la montaña y vine con la cordillera. Más cojones que tu ganga tiene una madre soltera. Tú cúbrete si suena mi tu. A mi lado tengo soldados fumando de su palulu. Y un conjuro de grimorio me lo salva del velorio. Pa' tener pila valorio, se matan vestidos de emporio. Yo no quiero una pistola, estoy soñando que la vida que quería me llega a tiempo.
Arda y por dentro la llama, no puedo contener la ras. Churruscao el corazón, el armazón no puede llegar a pesarme más. Si abro la boca, tu tumba al suelo, me muelo a diario y sobrado de gas. Escupo ristas perfectas, paladas de versos eternos, no mueren jamás. Cuando acabe mi condena, me vi muy solo y perdido. Cada vez más negra la flema, más elegante el problema, pero planté cara a todos mis enemigos. Recuperé las ganas, las fuerzas y el garbo. Dedico requiems a mis diablos, que aquí estoy vivo de milagro. Delicadas flores crecieron entre los cardos. Me dicen vienes más delgado que de costumbre. Será de tanto que he bailado en el alambre, que a tanta pena es mejor no ponerle nombre. Llevamos la música en vena, nuestra sangre.
Declaraciones.
Un poco sobreiluminados, bueno.
Sí, porque el cielo es
Luego
nuestro.
levantó sol.
Miras a otro lado.